Well, hello, everybody. Hello, it's so good to see everybody. Hello, adventurers.
Hello.
And welcome to another episode of The Role Players. We are super excited tonight, so thank you for joining us.
We're hyped.
We are big time.
They're so hyped that I'm drinking wine.
Oh, white wine. It's
Not
like
only
that.
white
White
looks
wine
a bit
too, yeah.
Chad, that looks a bit buttery.
Yes, it does.
Wow.
Little
You are
buttery.
not incorrect. You have an astute eye, sir. Perception
eye, what
check
are you?
pass.
Sommelier. Virtual sommelier, which is actually a thing now.
I bet it is.
Wow.
You know?
How is that even
How?
possible?
How is that
They're so
Strangely.
good they can smell the wine through
yes,
the
through the bits.
the internet.
It's the binaries. It's the 10010. Oh, wait a minute. Apricots.
It's the placebo effect.
I'm getting
like
just
oak.
little hints and notes of malware.
Right.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good.
That is, I love it. I love it. Well, hello, everyone. So great to see you back. I want to welcome once again Cicero Holmes as our guest star. We're so excited to have you with us again, brother.
Thank you.
Welcome
Thank you.
back.
I am honored and privileged to be here with you guys. You guys are so good.
Oh,
So good. And the community is
Come
so
now.
awesome.
Oh, we have the best
So happy.
community.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here and to be able to say that I've been here. Like I can put it on a stamp.
We're all thrilled, man.
Oh, and then if you come 12 times, you get a free smoothie.
There you go.
Oh, okay, I get
And
that.
then you get advantage
Your
on
role
your next
player's
roll.
card. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
I like it.
And we have
like
a
it.
board where you can like tag your initials with
Yes.
spray. Yeah, all of that.
Yes,
For
I like
sure.
this concept.
All right. Well, Judd, just keep coming up with random characters for me to play.
Oh, yeah. No, well, I don't know. I like Rigel. I want to see you strain your voice every time we play. So
Oh yeah, this is yeah.
Rigel's
How
just
many
going to keep coming
sessions
back.
before you give out?
Right. Oh, just come back. I sound like Doc Rivers.
Yeah,
Are you on like egg yolks?
Love
on
it.
Egg
Yeah,
yolk
dude,
diet
that's
all
awesome.
week long after that.
there you go.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm completely off our normal kind of rhythm of our normal welcome, but thank you for joining us as we play the world's greatest Dungeons and Dragons game. That doesn't even make sense. The best role-playing game
That doesn't
ever.
make sense.
D&D.
But-
Doesn't matter. Let's just go have fun. I'm your Dungeon Master, Judd. These are my role players.
We're making
Hey,
shit up,
everybody.
whatever.
Yeah,
The
we're
ones that
just,
have been talking. You
hey,
know.
we're fucking around today and we're having a
Hercules,
good time.
Hercules.
All right. Chadrick,
Come on,
I think
Eddie.
you have some announcements for us this evening.
Yes, I do. Well, first and foremost, we always want to thank our wonderful sponsors, Skull Splitter Dice. And let me tell y'all something. Just when you thought Skull Splitter Dice couldn't get any more metal, literally in the case of some of their dice, or couldn't get any cooler, they've gone and done something like this. We will be, along with them, giving away a dice holder from Skull Splitter Dice. And
I need that.
if you check out our socials
Yeah.
in the link below, you'll be able to catch a little peek ski of this, and it looks really fucking cool. It's a big skull thing, like it's really rad.
We
So,
legit all one hit. Yeah.
yeah, we legit all want it. Skull Splitter, you know, what's up?
Yeah.
You can go to the site and you can use our discount code TRPSS15. Yeah, that's right, Maddie. I said discount code. That's on top
my
of-
discount
word.
Yeah, and don't forget our other amazing sponsor, Thrill Studios, where you can use discount code TRP15 and save 15% there too. They have amazing minis that you can get painted if you're not as good at painting as Peter or Judd is, or even minis that you might have missed out on because they were exclusives with a Kickstarter. The Thrill has got your back. They've hacked the system, so definitely check them out. That's all I got. I think, Judd, we're ready to go, right, baby?
Yeah, I feel like we are.
roll.
Let's just do it, y'all. All right, we're gonna jump into our favorite song of all time by our good old bard, Otto Ottmar. I've heard of his
Happy
name.
bard.
Still loving it, dude.
Yes.
Still loving it.
I'm glad you're liking it, man.
Yeah, man. All right, here we go. We'll be right back, everybody, for tonight's episode of The Role Players.
Let me tell you a story about a time that me and my friends found a new world. It started on a ship, brought together by a storm. We traveled through the rift to a new world beyond. We were thrown into shackles, we were hunted down by thieves, but we'll never let it stop us from saving Anacroli, for we are thee.
And we are back. Hello.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hello,
So,
neighbor.
jumping in, last time in Anacroli.
Previously in an act.
Oh, there it is already. Well, you had all made your way across the dangerous countryside of southern Anacroli, finally reaching the magnificent city of Asley. And after some brief flirting with a guard at the gate, Tabitha, you all made your way to the respectable home of Dagmara's father, Zaki. I don't know why I couldn't remember his name.
That's right.
After a tearful reunion, you all explained to him your current situation and the need for urgent information. And he knew just the dwarf. He led you to the Pickled Bard, whereupon entering the jovial and already slightly intoxicated atmosphere, pushing in on you, you saw a dwarf in fine clothes, red hair, sitting at the bar. And this is Rigel Neverbottom, played by our wonderful Cicero. Second in charge of Asley and first in charge of its protection. You got a booth. You proceeded to kind of tell him almost everything about your situation, the necromancers, the archmage, and the threat to Anacroli itself. But as you were having this conversation, a drunken elf stumbled over to your table and kind of rammed into you and then tumbled off. Seville, you managed a really deft hand pick a single ball bearing out of his pocket, which seemed to mean something to you, and you immediately jumped up and followed him.
I pulled a tabby. I did.
Yeah, you did. And followed him out of the tavern, and you saw him just disappear around the corner. And you heard retching sounds. And as you went around to see what was up, you saw a very different persona standing there, like an elven man, 2 rapiers out, and you heard in your mind right away, are you coming in? Are you going to make this fun? And as you tried to talk back to him, his weapon started raised in the air, and you heard 4 snaps in the air above you and the whistling of arrows. And that's where we find you today. So, we're jumping right in, you all. This is the wrong mouse. There we go. Let me sure that this is playing. Okay, good. All right, Seville. Can you guys hear that music? I don't know why I can't.
I have Judas Priest on in the background. Sorry.
Slightly, yeah.
Slightly, okay.
Hell bent for
Very,
leather in the
very
background. I'm
slightly.
sorry, lad.
Let's turn
I hear
it.
something now. I do now.
I'm gonna turn it up. I'm
I
gonna
hear
turn it up.
Oh yeah, there it
Oh
is.
yeah, there we go.
I don't know
I
why the
hear it.
levels are different tonight, but that's tech stuff for you. So,
I'm your huckleberry.
is that good? Too loud?
No, like,
Perfect.
it's good for me. And
So far,
yeah,
so good.
All right, so far
Ash,
so
let
good.
us know how that sounds. All right, Seville. You stand.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh,
No,
I
no,
thought it
hold
was
on.
action. Sorry.
No, hold on. Okay.
Can you smell what the DM is cooking? Is
So-
what I'm gonna say.
Oh my gosh.
There
now
we
you're
go.
doing
Oh,
it.
look who's dropping that.
And I know. That's all you're gonna get from me tonight.
I'm loving this. I'm loving it. All right, Seville.
Hell
So
yeah.
you're standing at the corner
Yeah.
of this intersection. You're right next to the 2-story tavern that you just came out of, and the gray stone is just feet away from you. You do a quick look around as you approach this guy, and you see that there's a building on each corner here. The other buildings are 3 and 4 floored, and there's a fine crafted street that's cut out of this light gray stone. This whole city is so beautifully carved. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me before we get started.
What do your Mendeleal eyes see? Oh,
10.
To your Mendeleal.
So you try to do a quick like half second look around as you see his blades coming up, and you're trying to say something back to him, but I'm afraid I need you to roll initiative.
Oh my
Right?
God.
This is why we have a breakdown in society. No one wants to talk to one another.
They just want to initiative with each other.
Let's see what happens. That could have been better on my side, so let's hope you do better.
Seville,
I did.
please sleep this loser, man.
Yeah, be quick about it.
Sleep this
23.
dude. Yes.
All right, so
Classic Seville high
Okay.
roll. Love it.
Yes.
you see his blades coming up. You lightning fast reflexes. You pull your rapier out, but outside of initiative order, before that happens, and you heard those 4 strings of incoming arrows whistling at your head. These actually happen before initiative. So
Talking a totally innocent.
first one is where?
Use his body as a shield.
Ooh, that's 18.
Yeah, that hits.
I'm just gonna roll the attacks first.
Seville's like, keep rolling.
That's a 20. That's a
I
22.
can take it.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
He's
That's
like,
a
I wear
20,
light
but not
armor,
natural.
You know the drill.
Okay, and that one misses. So 3 hit you. 1 you hear it just clatters and they're exploding at your feet. So I give you total damage here. Okay, not too bad. You're at 15 points piercing damage as all of a sudden 3 arrows just streak out of the air and sticking into you.
Not too bad.
Damn.
I mean, it could have been a lot worse actually. I rolled really low on damage.
Wow.
All right, but you are up as you are facing this other person who seems oddly not you don't know him by name or by sight, but you certainly think he's familiar.
But he
I'd like to imagine-
never answered back the
He didn't.
other.
The
okay,
only thing I'll
so-
give you with that perception roll is that you see an intense burning, almost a hatred, just a disgust on his
Yeah.
face as he's looking at you.
Well,
I was gonna say, I imagine we all are getting blissfully shit-faced
yes.
back at the
Back in the
bard.
You're all still drinking and you're having this actually serious conversation with Rigel. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
All right. Well, it would have been nice if it was just 1-on-1, my friend. But now you're done and called in your friends. We can't have a conversation, and I'm saying this as I'm backing up and backing up. It's going to have to be another time, because if you ain't got the ears to listen, you're not going to dance with Seville. And I'm backing right back into the bar. I'm running into where I got some backup.
Right.
Okay. All right.
I am not sitting and getting just fish in a barrel there. I'm back in.
No problem.
I like it.
Okay.
You're like,
Seville.
later.
You back in. Where are you gonna go? I need to know how much of your movement. Like, give me your actual kind of moves here, so I know where to place
All
you.
right. Well, so I've got about a double dash. I have about 120 feet of movement. As I'm going, my action is going to be to survey and look around to see as much intel. What's he wearing? Where are these arrows coming from? Just are we getting shut into this place?
Okay, I'll say as you're
what
backing
do the
up.
streets look like? How many people are out? All that kind of stuff.
All right, I'll as your action, I'll let you do this. Roll another perception check for me.
All right. As you know, and I'm hightailing.
Yeah.
22.
Okay. This time, knowing that you're in trouble and you start quickly backing up and your eyes scanning the surroundings, you're looking for other people. You catch sight of 2 of the 4 people that you know are up on these rooftops. And just in that brief instant, you see they have like a dark gray, really tight fitting armor everywhere except the hood, which is just poofed out a little bit, enough to cover their face. You know instantly that that's the kind of operational garb of the cutters. But as you're looking and kind of clocking each one, you see the 2 that you can see quickly just turn and leave. And looking at the rest of the street, you see a couple kind of like half drunken people starting to go off to the next tavern, laughing and having a good time going down the street. There's only like 3 other people on the street. You don't see any other threats other than this elf who is running at you.
All right, but the arrows they've all turned, or that I see?
Yeah.
Oh, this changes things a little, my friend. All right, I'm still going to get into.
And I tell you
I
what,
just can't-
roll me a history.
I'm just. Well, all right, because I got an idea here.
I'm so curious what the purpose of that is.
Yeah, 6.
Never mind. what you got?
I'll keep being curious then.
So I just saw his whole. As I'm backing away, I just saw his whole support team leave.
Yeah.
All right, bonus action, synaptic shock. I'm locking into his neurological functionality, and I'm gonna seize this motherfucker's mind.
Okay, it's
dang.
con save. What's the DC?
14.
Oh, that actually. Well, hold on. Let me make sure his bonus. That hits.
All right.
He's
Snap
paralyzed.
Okay, so you see as he's running, all of a sudden he feels that attack and he tries to fight it, and all of a sudden he just kind of frozen in this position, holding both of his rapiers kind of in front of his face, blades down, and he's just got this like angry look. He's still trying to fight it, but he's definitely paralyzed. What do you want to do?
Pull his pants down.
All right, so that's my bonus. Right? I
The
still have
classic
movement,
move.
right? I still have a technical attack left.
I mean, it'd be his turn, but he's paralyzed. So
Yeah.
no, you
All
don't
right.
have an attack because you use that for your perception. Let that be your action.
Okay, so yeah.
You pants him, and then you're like, all of you are following that.
All right, so how far away is he from me then?
At this point, because you ran, where'd you stop? Like kind of in the doorway to the tavern?
In the doorway. Okay.
Is that where you stopped? You tell me. Uh-oh. Oh, Seville. All right, we're gonna say yes.
He stopped in the
paralyzed
doorway.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
He's acting it out
Seville's
for us.
paralyzed.
He looks very
It's a
stealthy
trend.
right now. I will say. I would. Well, while we're dealing with this situation, if we were to cut back to the bar,
let's jump back.
I think it would be reasonable for one of us to sort of go, like,
Well, it's only been like a few
Seville?
seconds, so if you all want to jump back into your conversation, we jump back
There you go.
to our
Could you
group.
lower it just a little bit though?
Absolutely.
All right, perfect. Yeah. So yeah, maybe we thought he just went to get a drink or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
we lost our
lost
buddy,
Peter.
and our
Oh,
screens
we
are
lost our
all
buddy.
screwed up.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Bear with us.
Showbiz,
Battle.
kids.
This is
Showbiz in the time of Corona.
Which I've already said, I'm over. I'm ready for Corona to be done.
we're so over it. I just like go to our set and lovingly pet it. All right, you know what, everybody,
No,
we'll
that's
be right
weird.
back. Let's get
We'll be right back.
Peter back, and then we'll be right back.
We'll be right.
Hey.
All right, so that wasn't too bad. That's all
Yeah,
right.
And we're
landing,
back.
We're back.
Did it.
See?
All right.
Yeah.
So thank
Could
you
be
all.
worse.
It could be worse. That was super fast. Thank you. All right. So actually, Seville, we're put the brakes on you for a moment. We're just with our group here. We did a little cutaway as you're all kind of, and you've just watched Seville a few seconds before just kind of go off through the crowd looking at that drunken elf who hit your table. And you're all discussing kind of the situation with Rigel, who had just told you that the necromancers are indeed in town and staying at the palace. Oh, music's too loud, sorry.
Well, then we must put a plan in place to take them down, whatever the planning here. I can assure you it's not going to be good for the citizens of Ansley.
Yes, Rigel, is Asley ready to do anything concerning this huge danger at hand?
Well, the necros are everywhere, but we will do what we must.
What do you recommend to ensure that they are rooted out here?
First, we must go back to my office.
Okay.
There is something there that I need to collect.
And we were
Really?
just having so much fun here, getting completely hammered, or shall I say, yes, go on.
Once the tall one comes back with his drink,
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Where is he?
I'm sure he's just fine and he'll be back any moment now.
Any moment.
And as you say that, oh, sorry, go ahead, Tabitha, sorry.
I was just saying he's been known to kind of leave, come back. He'll be fine.
Yeah. He does that.
He'll be fine.
He does.
Yeah, he's fine.
Boy who cried wolf. So used to it.
Yeah, he's done it so many times at this point. We're numb. We're numb to it. Really.
And with that, we jump back to Seville.
I'm going
Oh, come on.
right up to this guy, paralyzed.
Sorry, you froze again, but you're good. You keep going.
Oh man, I just spent 4 hours teaching class online, and now it's freezing now.
Of course, yeah, that's right. It's crazy, yo.
All right.
So, he doesn't want to talk. I don't know if he's necromantically disabled. But yes.
Or that.
I am going to, as an auto crit, I'm just going to go and hammer this dude.
Okay.
He's paralyzed, so
He is.
I'm coming up to him. I'm not going to kill him.
Okay.
I just want to send a message and then drag him back.
And you're not going to pants him either.
All right. So here's the damage. Here's the damage.
All right, show me what you got.
Show me what you got. Show me what you got. All right. So that's 3. Double it 6 plus 5 is 11. A booming blade is 4. Double that is 8. So 11 and 8. And then sneak attack. And that is 8. 5 is 13.
Oh, no.
Double that is 20.
no.
So
Every time I'm
19,
like,
let's see, 5.
Expense.
Right. I'm not going to kill him. I'm going to eviscerate him.
yeah.
All right. Well, okay. So this is I'm trying. Not going. I'm just going to knock 45 points.
45.
5 points. Good.
45 points
Of tickling damage.
Yeah.
All right.
dancing damage.
Dancing damage.
So, Seville, yeah,
That includes
you
a
come up
wedgie.
and you tried to talk to
Wedgie
this.
damage.
All right, all. Settle.
Okay.
So you tried to talk to him before, and you can see that he was like, you don't know what's going on with him, but you're not going to talk, and you bring your rapier out, just really quickly. You know exactly how to kind of incapacitate him, hurting him very badly. He doesn't drop, but you know that he looks very close. And I believe the paralysis only lasts till the end of...
It's 1 minute, but he can save out of it.
Oh, it's 1 minute, okay, yeah. Ooh, 1 minute.
So, but if he's unconscious, he can't really save out of it. So it's a minute.
How often can
He's
he
not
repeat the
unconscious.
save?
All right. He can repeat it at the end of his turn.
Oof.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna have to.
You can do it at the end. Gonna have another go.
I thought it was one round.
Yeah, he's gonna go down.
Now this is like, yeah. But he can save out of it anytime he wants, if he can.
On his turn, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, it's his turn.
On his turn.
I think you're done, right?
So,
what? You broke up.
is it me? Oh, it's the center. It's crazy. All right. So as he's lying there, I'm just gonna whisper in his
he's
ear.
He's not down. He's not down.
No, you're not down.
No, he's not down.
Okay, so he's just
He's still up. Like you messed him up.
standing there going, yeah.
Yeah, but
All right.
he's bleeding profusely and looks really messed up, but he's still on his feet. So
right.
anything else with your turn? Otherwise, he's going to see if he can save out of it.
All right, I'm backing up because I'm getting out of range. He now has he's sheathed in Glade Energy if he moves 2d8, and I'm backing up and I'm just saying, put your weapons down and let's talk. I've got a heap of evidence that you're going to want to see. But you don't want to dance.
All right. Now, before I roll to see if he saves out of it, roll a persuasion check for me.
Come on.
Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends?
17.
17. Okay.
17.
Let there be peace, man.
All right. So
peace.
he rolls to get out of it, and that's a 17. What was the save?
14
Okay.
to get out.
So you see that he definitely he shakes it off this time, and now that he's not frozen, you can see he just kind of crumples, and he just the sheer will of this elf as he stands up tall, but he is just gushing blood, and
Goodness.
he looks at you for a moment.
Brothers, let me show you the evidence.
We were brothers, not from what I've heard
No.
anymore.
I told you to listen to me. What are you, a Crown's Guard?
Throws something down. You see this explosion. You know what this is. This bright
Right.
flash.
Wait, do you know he probably has another one, but I took one.
Yeah, I know. This is something. Yeah,
Okay.
he has more.
Right. Okay.
And however, as you see that bright flash and you look away, you hear this boom, and you just see him crumple as he had used his escape. And he moved, and that force damage hit, and he is down and bleeding out.
I'm running to him right away.
So sad.
I'm taking a healing
God.
potion, and I'm dumping it down his throat, heaving him over my shoulder, and bringing him back into the bar.
Okay. All right.
Hey, wow.
I love it. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Guess we don't have to leave yet.
Yeah.
The rest of you are having
You
this.
keep drinking.
You had just kind of asked, where did Seville go? And you look over, and here Seville is coming through this crowd. It's pretty packed in here. And he's got that same elf that you saw a few minutes before draped over his shoulder as he approaches your booth.
Did we
We're
hear
like,
the
hey,
boom?
Seville.
I'm trying
Yeah, you
to
heard
put a
the boom,
smile
for
on my
sure.
face,
We heard
and
a
it's like,
boom. Okay, a big boom? Like a pretty big boom?
It's pretty
like
loud, yeah.
Okay,
bada boom.
all right. Okay.
Big bada boom.
I'm a little
Bada
injured,
boom.
but I'm trying to put on a big bada boom, big smile on my face, and I'm like, I found one of my unit members. He's a bit drunk, and I'm just saying this as I
Isn't
approach
he
the
bleeding?
table.
Did he?
Yeah, he's like, there's a
ran into a
trail.
barrel.
There's a trail of blood behind you, Seville,
Dripping blood.
as you're making your way through the bar.
The man ran straight he's ran into a wall straight away, knocked
Do
himself
I believe
out.
him? Do I
I'm gonna-
believe him?
The
But
visual on that.
as he's saying this, you actually look into the man's face that was all bloody and messed up and sliced, and you can see the wounds are there's like a little bit of this faint yellowish glow, and they're healing up, and the blood
So-
stops flowing because he shoved a healing potion down his throat. So he's
Right. So, okay. I'm right there. So, this man's dangerous. He's an edge guard, and he was sent to kill me and take me in. I'm going to put him down. Rigel, this is what I'm talking about. Some of the edge are compromised. Bind him and blindfold him.
I do it immediately.
Bind him.
I bind him
Don't
instantly.
blindfold him, but bind
I
him
take my
instantly.
elven rope and I do a really cool.
Can I ask?
I'm taking his
real quick?
rapiers.
Can I ask real quick? Where is all this happening? Are we in our hidden room away?
You're
from
not in a hidden
everything?
room. You're kind of like, think Star Wars Cantina. You're in a booth that's kind of in a
So
corner.
we're in the middle of a Star Wars like cantina.
But you're back in the corner. I mean, you're
Right.
Dragging the guy in the bar. I feel
Yes.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
There are a
okay,
couple
well,
people, by the way, just so you know who you're with. I mean, a couple people look over and they look at Rigel and they
Right,
look away
right.
quickly, like, Okay, this
Right.
must be some official ship going
business.
down. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, well that's good.
So I kind of holding my side after, and pull out a crossbow bolt and
Seville, you hurt?
just a tad.
Who has healing potions? Somebody get healing potions. Somebody.
It's all right. Hold off for right
Let
now.
me see if I have any. Are you sure, Seville?
We've got. He's in good care.
Father, do you have anything?
Everyone, relax. I'll take care.
Relax. Everything's fine.
Yes.
Seville, it's so nice of you to join us. It seems that you wanted us to be noticed by everyone. What's
I
happening
didn't
here?
know what else to do with this man. I couldn't leave him in the street. He's too dangerous. I couldn't kill my own brother.
Haven't
Edgard
you
here.
learned by now that you should just stay with us?
I know.
Every time you leave, you get into so much trouble.
I know, it's so fun. I mean, I shouldn't do it. I should not do it. But
Don't
listen,
you
I had
all
to take the chance.
understand?
I didn't want everybody else getting ambushed here. I thought I would connect with this man. I thought he wasn't turned yet, but he already has the information that I've turned. But we got to question this guy.
Don't you all see? It's the classic hero's dilemma. His bravery is the double-edged sword that is both his strength and his terrible ignorant weakness. It's
It's a song,
poetic.
isn't it?
Oh, it's a
I know.
song.
I know.
Oh, it is
Between
a
us,
song
Otto.
waiting to
All
be
I have to
sung,
say
my
is-
friend.
And it worked.
Thank you,
My-
Seville, for bringing him back, because
Oh, no
this
problem.
could have cost us a lot.
Hey, my synaptic shock worked. It was beautiful. Oh my gosh, it was just, you should have seen the dance I put on this man. I mean, let's tend to him. Let's find out if he's okay. I mean,
Sounds like art to me.
right.
This is the elf that went past us.
Rigel.
Oh.
This is the drunk. Yeah, I knew he was an edge because of this, and I take it
Do
off.
you
I
think-
show Tabby. Remember the ball bearings in the cutters? These things, you have one of them.
Oh, yeah.
I took it off him to
And I
see.
dig mine out.
Yeah, I thought it was weird that he would just crash into our table. So I decided
Yeah, he was
to find
obviously
out.
trying to deliver a
So,
message.
do you think that he could be one of the compromised Edgeguard that we've heard are in league with the necromancers?
He could very well be. I don't know. This is why I wanted to question him. Maybe me knocking him out has freed his mind.
Did
We
you
need
knock
to
him
take him
out?
somewhere private right now. I'm not going to
Let's-
be talking anymore. Let's
Yes. I'm
Let's
sorry.
go to my office.
Yes,
Yeah, let's
yes,
go back
Good
to your
idea.
office.
right.
yes, please, and discreetly.
We can.
Put a dagger right near his heart
Yeah.
as we kind of help him out of the building. And I go right into this Edgeguard's mind. If you try anything at all, it's not going to go so kind for you this time. I want respect in a conversation. I will run you through. In
And to
fact,
help-
Tabitha, she'll
Yeah.
cut your damn balls off. And that's it.
And to help cover all of this, while they
Sorry.
have him, like, I imagine a cloak thrown over him, a dagger to his chest, and we're trying to discreetly move through the crowd, I'll kind of cover them by, like, getting on a stool and leading everyone in, like, one last song to draw some attention away.
That's awesome. I love
And
it.
I'm just
I
like
love it.
signaling to people like, he just.
Yeah, and they just they ignore you. They're like, yeah, and they start singing the song. you
And
know.
I grab like a mason jar of like pickled juice and I like throw it into my face and I'm like, oh no, a pickled bard!
And they're like,
And I'm
everybody's
like, all right, you've all been great. I've been Otto Otmar, the third of his name. Please have a great night. Goodbye, everyone.
Otto!
I like exit out and catch up with them. I have to like kind of like jog to catch up with them since they got ahead of me. And I'm like, well, I hope this office is at least some level of fun. That tavern certainly is.
Otto.
One of my favorites, huh?
The office is an office.
Ah, well, as most offices are, I suppose.
Otto, I felt like I saw you at your bachelor party for a moment. You'd be a lot of fun at one. I hope you find another mate one day, and if so, that I'm invited.
Well, you know, at my bachelor, well, best I not tell that actually.
Yes, that's not in the presence of
You heard
better
about
companies.
you heard about what happened at my wedding. You can only imagine at my stag weekend. Oh my goodness.
God.
Let's just stick to the task.
Yes, let's. Sorry, I asked.
I am too.
And Rigel. I don't know why I'm having problems tonight. Don't mind me. Let me have another sip. Let me have a bit more ale.
Have a bit of
I'll have cucumber sandwich, Nigel.
This sounds like a
Nigel,
Monty
you know, boy.
Python sketch.
Yeah.
I'm Rigel and I'm Nigel.
And now for something
Judd.
completely different.
They come in pints.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Rigel, you lead them out of the tavern in a route that you know well. This is your city. And
Yes.
you cut through some of these roads. And despite your circumstance, the rest of you still just can't help take in the majesty of this city. And going over a couple bridges, you see that he's leading you to the heart of the city. That massive sculpture, the waterfalls. You can smell the kind of that fresh water misting through the air down here. And as you round the corner, you see the palace at the foot of this statue. And it is massive. It is beautiful, magnificent. It's so beautifully lit. It has these extremely large, like, glass panels, these just kind of huge windows. And as you approach the entrance, the guard post that leads inside of the palace, there are two like 40-foot tall dwarven statues, or statues of these dwarves. And one has this huge kind of battle axe resting blade down at his feet, and the other one has this hammer, and they're just looking proud. These are proud dwarves here. And the guards see you approach, and there's at least a couple dozen guards here kind of milling about this main entrance. And they start to run up and, good evening, sir. And make way! And you see the guards just start to part. And they're kind of eyeing your friend, they're eyeing the body, but none of them say anything. As Rigel leads you through the grounds now, and you see fountains and pools, and it's just, you're taken in by this beauty. You can hear faint music playing in the distance, as if there might be some kind of large party going on inside the palace. And Rigel, you lead them through the main front doors, again, Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to interject a moment. When we hear the music, I think I might turn to Rigel while we're walking and say, is there some event going on?
There are more pressing concerns at this moment. Let us go.
Pressing concerns at this moment.
Well, sorry, you
Go to
must
a
forgive
party.
me. A party for me is quite high on the list, but yes, I suppose.
And I believe there was the only thing on my list was to go to a party tonight. Anyone remember?
Right?
Tabitha, I
Yes.
swear we'll find one. We'll find one for you. Let's
You all,
Patience will
Tammy,
adore
We
that
just
dress.
get one, okay?
We all
That's
think
out of the
that
office.
cannot.
we all think that you look great. But Judd,
Yes.
Otto's senses are tingling a bit because his rather keen mind is thinking, well, if there's some party in the palace, it seems like such an important member of the leadership would have been invited, and our new friend here, and he's just thinking this could all be a bit amiss. He's luring us into his office. Am I getting a little creeped out? Am I starting to mistrust the guy
Yeah, I
that I
tell you
really
what.
was liking and having like a mustache bond with?
I appreciate that. I want you to do 2 rolls for me. Do a perception and an insight. So your insight's gonna kind of
Okay.
see if you believe this guy.
I'm sort of better at 1. Let's see. My perception is it's an 11, and my insight is a 16.
16, yeah. So you're trying to make a judgment call here on this dwarf that you just met, and by the way, retconning this a moment, Zaki said goodbye to you, Dagmara, as he kind of felt that this second half of this evening might be a bit beyond him, but he said to you, please do come back home. Don't leave this time, okay?
I won't. And I give him a tight hug.
Okay.
Please
Great.
don't rest. You've had quite a lot tonight.
Yeah.
For the first time in 15 years, I suppose.
And he does. He walks back home with a smile on his face, keeps looking over his shoulder as you disappear around the corner. And Otto, back to you. Now you're in this moment and you're glancing around the palace. You were trying to see, are there people arriving? Does it look like there might be some signs of a party? Can you see through some of these massive windows? You can see inside parts of this palace, though again, it is huge. So the parts you see, though, look like, you see a few people milling about and maybe some guards, but definitely no signs of a party, but you can hear it. You turn your attention back to Rigel, and thinking back that he is a trusted friend of Dagmara's father, and you feel that he's being earnest with you, and but there is something that seems very pressing, something he hasn't said yet. You feel an urgency in his kind of bearing.
I mean, the man used to carry me on his shoulders.
So, may I make a persuasion check?
Sure.
And say to
I feel pretty convinced.
Well, if you're not convinced, Rigel looks at you and says,
"This party has just begun, fancy one. You want to make a more fashionable entrance, do you not?"
Why didn't you say so? I wouldn't be caught dead at the early entry of a party. That's for, well, fools, really.
Yeah, so just for Judd's DM's sake to see if that was persuasive enough, it was a 25.
Yeah, that one lands.
It was as if you masterfully tapped into his terribly inflated sense of status.
Right.
That you saw his eyes glaze over and was like, I wouldn't be caught dead there at this hour.
Exactly.
And
let us go.
Yeah, Rigel, as you lead them inside, Otto, you have this moment, actually, out of everyone here, having a high opinion of your history and where you come from. And you walk inside this palace and you see wealth and beauty at a scale which you really didn't know was possible. And your entire sort of family castle is about the size of the grand staircase. And it's just this huge cavernous space that goes off with the most beautiful stone and all the metalwork and everything. It just takes your breath away. The tapestries, the silks, the rugs, the furniture, the people milling about, the guards, and also the people who are taking care of this palace and their beautiful livery. You all kind of like, shit.
I think under my breath, I let out like a little whistle, and I'm like, I am very interested in seeing the capital city at this point. My goodness.
Yeah. And Rigel, you lead them, you're taking in none of this. You know your path. You take them up the stairs, you go up a couple flights, and you divert down this beautiful arched corridor. And you see all these suits of armor of different styles. And it seems to be kind of like a throwback to the earliest and how the improvements have gone on. And after about a 10 minutes walk, you finally come to an office where you see more Crown's guards, the Valiere. I can't talk tonight. It's one of those nights. It's been a long week. It's a Monday. So you see them standing out front of this office, and they kind of come to attention. And Rigel, you don't say anything to them, and you just pass inside. And standing at the door, you let them all come through. And as you all kind of come in, you see that this door is unnaturally thick. It's like almost like a foot in thickness as he shuts it, and it's just boom. And he has a few kind of manual locks on the inside. Rigel, what would you like to do?
So what are we going to do with this? So we've got this edge guard with us still.
Yeah.
Just like thrown over our shoulder.
Yeah. What are we doing with this edge guard here?
Well, I'm an excellent good cop or bad cop. I can, whatever needs to be done, by all means, I'm here at your disposal. I mean,
I've
had him tied.
Take his weapons out and just avert your gaze and do not look him in the eye and make sure he doesn't look at you.
I've had him tied, and I take him and I shove him down and I tie him tightly. Is there a chair in here?
Oh yeah, there.
All right, I tie him tightly to a chair, and I do another really good knot. So
You're upset. Remember how upset you were back when Otto decided to save us from someone who was clearly a threat by killing them, and then here you are, just blindly binding this man that we don't know anything about and haven't even spoken to.
Are you coming to my defense? Bless you.
You know.
And is there any wine in here?
Erisette, trust me.
Tabitha, you know that I
Speaking
don't
of
like
blindly,
to get into words, but there is a big difference between killing an innocent youngling and tying somebody so that we can speak further with him. And I think anybody would know that difference.
If there is wine, I'm pouring it into
Anybody
a
would
cup.
know that.
And I say, renegade spellcaster.
So Rigel,
blinding. Should we blindfold him, Seville?
I'm going to have to show him some of these things after I can find out if he is under the influence or not of the necromancers and try to clear my name. He's not an evil man. He's either been fed garbage information, which we will resolve that right here, my friend. But you just do not want him in his line of sight in case he launches one of his mental attacks. So face him towards the wall. I'll be the one who talks to him. All questions of yours, of course, and we will see what we can see with this man here.
If he
Can we
hasn't...
put him to sleep for now? I'd like to hear what Rigel has to tell us.
That's what I was going to say, yes. So if we could hear that first, I think that would be helpful.
Okay, but that could be very top secret, hence the foot thick door.
Oh, come now, that's simple.
All right, go ahead, Rigel.
Like I just go over and like put like a sleeper hold on the guy, and I'm like, if you do this long enough, he just goes out. Look, look, he's going out right now.
Now, Tabby, why did you have to bring that up? See, you encouraged him.
There we go. Now we've got some time. What did you want to tell us?
Rigel goes over to the guy and he lifts up his hand once. He lifts it up twice. He doesn't do it the third time because he knows
he
what
doesn't
happens.
do this move right here.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man.
He doesn't do it the third time. He knows what happens on the third time.
Sorry to interrupt, but I'm obviously gonna be checking this guy's pockets and seeing what he has on him and keeping.
Got to. I mean, Abby.
all right, yeah, roll an investigation check, and
I have his 2 rapiers. He doesn't have those anymore, so
yeah, I assumed you took his weapons.
Yeah.
All the weapons we could find.
So, Rigel, tell us a little more about the Edgeguard and Asley.
Oh, okay. I was waiting for the investigation
16.
check.
16. So you find 4 daggers hidden on him at different points.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're small, but they're like, one is in the belt that he can pull out quickly. One is near the boot, and they're all kind of hidden places like that. So you extract those.
Good move.
He has a coin, a coin purse. Let's say coin purse with 68 gold pieces in it.
Not bad.
He's got.
bad.
You find 4 more of those large ball bearings in another pocket. And he does have a quill, 1 quill inside of his pocket, and it's one of the purple ones. Seville, you see as she pulls it out.
Oh.
And
Now I can replenish those.
Yeah, and that's it.
All right, Seville, you can take this quill because I don't remember what the purple one does, and I don't want to mess with it. Obviously, I'm going to be keeping all the gold. I earned it fair and square. And do any of these daggers seem like special?
I mean, at a quick glance, they don't look magical. They look beloved. Like they're worn, but they're like, you check the blade and they're extremely sharp.
So they're really nice and small, and so I think that while during the rest of the conversation, I'm going to be finding little fancy places to hide them.
Yeah,
like
sure.
under, like in my chest pocket, and I don't know, like going in a shoe. I'm going to hide those.
Cool, love it. Okay. All right, back to the rest of you.
What is the significance of the quills, Tabby?
Oh, they do different things. You don't remember?
I don't think she's seen. I don't think she's seen me use them.
Well,
that's a question for Seville over here.
Well, in trusted hands, they can produce beautiful songs and poetry. And I take out like my own completely non-magical quill. And I'm like, that much is certain. And I take another drink of wine.
Tabitha, could I see one of those ball bearings?
I have a feeling
sure, I
that Asley is
forgot
going
about
to
that.
have a new
Yeah,
anthem
yeah.
after Otto leaves.
Pass a barbarian to you.
Hey, okay.
Okay, yeah,
Right
exactly.
before we were about to learn shit.
And everybody's dead.
Okay. Well, he seems secure. Right, Al?
So, so Rigel is he is kind of separated himself from you guys. He's off looking at a painting, and without looking away from the painting, he says,
The Necros are here in this palace.
Oh.
A party.
They're looking for an artifact. That artifact may be at the party.
Looks like you're going to get your party after all, Tabby.
What's this artifact look like? Do you have any intel on it?
It is very powerful and very dangerous.
Okay, but
It
do you have
is.
any like descriptors of what it looks like? Because
It is called the Skull of Tanothiel.
okay, and how do I spell
Very descriptive.
Tanothiel?
You spell it Tanothiel. Accent aigu.
Tanothiel.
That is
Well-
truly not what I expected.
Well played, Cicero. Oh.
What, when you say maybe, what do you mean? You think that possibly one of the guests brung it, but you're not sure? What exactly do you mean by that?
Well, there is a key, and that key is in 3 parts. But the skull may be here amongst the crowd.
Among the guests?
Yes.
You wouldn't happen to have, say, a guest list, would you?
I do not.
You
But
should consider this for future party mobility. It's all the rage back in Faerun.
but be
I'd
assured.
say we need to put our party hats on and
Yes.
go
And,
mingle, huh?
and I'll jump in and clarify one small point.
Right.
Because poor Cicero, I texted him right before the game with like 3 books worth of text messages.
right.
I'm like, memorize this. You have 5 minutes.
I was getting to it.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that was part of the subterfuge. There were subterfuge
Oh,
there.
I'm sorry. And he respectfully backs away his team.
Get them together. Get them
Yeah.
together.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
I was speed reading while role playing and trying to remember the voice.
Humble brag.
Crushing it. Continue.
For you.
So while Rigel is having this conversation with you, he stops looking at the painting and he moves over to where the wine is, but he finds another bottle, Otto, that you did not see.
Oh.
And in that bottle, he pours out just it looks like spun gold in liquid form. And then he stands in front of his desk and he leans across his desk and he folds his legs for a second and he takes a sip of that wine.
Mm-hmm.
Then he puts the wine down and he's explaining to you guys exactly what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
The skull of Tanothiel
I feel,
was
Tanothiel.
That's
Tanothiel. There you go. That's how you say it. Well, it depends on where you're from.
Yeah, I mean, it really is tomato. I mean,
Right.
let's not get into that.
Pendraznul, one of the most powerful necromancers to ever exist, didn't just beat his foes. He stole their souls and trapped them in this skull.
Horrible.
And it belonged to the most powerful mage at the time. Through some necromantic ritual, he harnessed the power of those souls in order to create an artifact capable of bending reality. It can open portals to other planes and dimensions, alter the makeup of material, disintegrating even the hardest of magical elements and metals.
Yeah, that's what it said.
You good.
He walks around his desk, and from behind his desk, you see him gesticulate wildly up against the wall.
While his back is turned, I would like to pour myself a glass of the liquid gold.
Goldschlager. Oh, it's not as good as it looks.
You sneaky.
All right. Yeah, roll
Seems
the
like
stealth.
at this point I need to be made
Or
out of
actually,
gold.
roll a sleight of hand for us, and then Rigel, tell us about this. Well, first let's see how she does, in case you.
Ooh, not a great start. What are you gonna do? Okay, 12.
Yeah. So, Rigel, you see out of the corner of your eye that she's reaching for this. Do with that as you want.
So Rigel sees he sees that she goes to take some out of that bottle, and he just cuts his eye towards it, and he smirks just a small smile. When she picks the bottle up, what looked like liquid gold just turns to a gold outline of the carafe. So she goes to pour it, and there is nothing in it.
It's one of those party cups that have the liquid in the lining.
Yeah.
Totally.
So
I'm walking
I'm
over
just
to
like-
the edge guard and I'm sticking my fingers in his ears and just walking.
Still?
I see her look. I
Just
see
in
her
case
look
he comes out. He
Okay,
comes
good.
to
And-
it.
I see
As
her
I
look of
set down the bottle, I'm like, all right, touche.
When I see her look of disappointment, I like appear from behind her, obviously much taller than her, and I'm just pouring her cup with some of the bottle that I had been sipping off of, and I'm just like, it's all right.
and you all watch as Rigel, he's like, as you said, he's gesticulating.
wildly on the wall back behind him. And as he's doing that, he says,
The Necros are staying in the diplomatic wing, and
Diplomatic immunity.
they have an order that came from the Edgeguard, not King Dolian. So, based on the things that you have said and the things that I have learned, I've come up with my own plan.
and as soon as he finishes saying that, he opens, you hear a click and a hiss, and then a secret room starts to open.
I love it.
In the back of his office.
I love it. This is why I play D&D. This.
Rooms,
Secret rooms.
So
And I'm like, I knew it.
he brings
This is a
you
surprise.
he brings you into the secret room, and as you're looking around, you see that there are clothes, gowns, attire,
Fancy looking stuff.
Party City.
attire
What are you going to do with a dilemma?
for a ball.
I'm already
my
wearing
gosh.
such dope
He's
clothes.
ready with wardrobe.
No.
I like go over to it and I'm like, I guess this will do in a pinch, yes.
So
Oh, and I had other items for you to give out as well.
yes.
Which I realized I didn't send you.
Okay.
So I was like,
This may be fortuitous, given that we have a suspicious edgeguard here. It may make your plan even better once we question him.
How so, Otto? I don't follow.
Well, if the edgeguard are the ones who sent the Necros in to retrieve the skull inside the city, then perhaps if he's in league with the corrupt ones, he'll know something about said plan, of course.
Yes.
Well, that's if he was given the plans. Edgeguard tend to compartmentalize information for exactly this reason, but it's worth a go.
Well, he was an
go.
Asley, mind you.
Yeah.
I go out while they're doing all this. I go back out to him as quietly as I can, as stealthy, hopefully as unnoticed as I can.
Oh, I don't know about that, darling. Well,
I don't know. I mean, they're all so focused on the clothing, and I go to the part unconscious edge guard. And
I've got my fingers in his ear, so just so you know.
You're still back with him?
Yeah.
I say, Sibyl, will you give me a moment with him?
Sure. Just make sure you just don't. He doesn't see you, just in case.
I'm not so worried about that, but okay.
So
I position myself behind. Go on, distract the others for me, would you?
Will do. Otto, help me pick out an outfit. I don't know what I'm doing, my man.
There's
What
something
color
much...
what color would I look good in?
So as he does that, Judd, I start stroking the head of this edge guard.
Okay.
Ever so gently.
You see, you don't
Trying
want
to
to mislead
resuscitate him. And just stroking his hair.
Okay.
Seeing if I can get him to just be slightly, maybe even subconsciously sort of listening to me. And I say,
all right.
You signed up because you wanted to serve good. You have a choice now. When you wake, you can tell us all that you know, and you can fulfill your truest desire and serve good. I hope you'll make the right decision. And
you make a wonderful Maleficent.
Just like delicately stroke his forehead. And I go and I want to roll and see if a persuasion check was able to get into his deep subconscious.
Yeah, let's see what you get.
I love it. You're doing like the audio tape therapy version of it.
Right, exactly.
Very nice, yes.
Yeah, that was a 9, so it might not work.
I mean, you don't. It's honestly, it's just really hard
That
for you
was
to
a nice
tell
addition.
whether or not it was successful because he is unconscious.
But technically, isn't he at disadvantage or something? Like if he's unconscious?
I mean, that would be on. I mean, advantage for you? Sure, let's give you advantage because you did a great job.
Okay.
I will allow it.
I think that makes sense.
I pardon you.
And meanwhile, I'm saying...
Okay, that was way better. That was a 12.
Oh, nice.
Plus a 4, that's a 16.
Yay!
Pretty good.
Awesome.
Yeah, you feel that
good.
just like the kind of feedback you got from the skin as you kind of, and from his breathing, you feel like the message did kind of sink in.
And I kind of, as I leave him, I just pray to my own goddess. I pray to Sehanine Moonbow, and I ask for your mercy on this one, please. And then I put on a bright face and I go into the room and I say, what shall we pick today, Tabby? This is incredible. 2 ball gowns to choose from in one.
2 ball gowns.
Oh
and
my goodness.
These are in your colors. And I've selected and organized this little choice for you that has, I imagine, lots of cool undertones to go with light bluish skin.
Seville, we're going to need you in something muted. You don't want to be that brightly colored person who someone will think, you'll have this sort of a lot of personality. You don't want to give them the wrong idea. You want them to know that you're sort of this dutiful person. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking something more like this tunic here. And I'm just putting different shirts and stuff up to him and oh yes, you should definitely.
This is just a fashion show section.
You should definitely wear this. Yeah, he I come one thing and I'm like,
A little montage here, a little pretty woman.
I know.
All right.
I see.
And I go to Rigel and I say, it's wonderful to see you have not lost your class, my friend. It's been quite a few years. Now
The class. Yes, please.
Oh, yes. Do tell me, how many edge guards and necromancers are we expecting at the ball tonight?
Their number is irrelevant. What is relevant is what you will be doing for me and for you.
In that case,
You
help me.
will be going to this gala tonight. It is a very important one. But you will have a task. In my office, I said no one knew where the artifact was, but that was a misdirection. We had ears within speaking range and hearing range. The truth is, the skull is in the vault of Stuart Tariel.
The vault of Stuart Tariel.
But there is a key, and that key is in 3 parts, held by 3 people. All 3 of them will be at the gala tonight. You must retrieve them. They must not know. That's right.
So a stealth mission.
That is correct.
Ah.
Well.
Maybe the
missions.
Turner family can return to its old roots of Mary.
I imagine. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ariel.
I was just gonna say, so if you don't mind, may I pick my favorite from the wardrobe that I used to so enjoy years ago?
Please.
And I go through the dresses, and I know exactly which one I would like. And I pick out this kind of bronze, rose gold dress with an intricate sash and almost like a sweetheart neckline and a little bit of lace. I'm like, no, it held up well. I'll be right back.
Yeah, so, Rigel looks at you and he raises one eyebrow. And, he says,
he smells what you're cooking.
And I just say, well, I suppose if you want to create a stealth mission, then they will need a distraction. And I just go into the room to change.
Yeah. So as you guys are starting to grab different items, Rigel goes away and there's, shelves with different things on there, and he's rummaging around as you guys are picking out your clothes.
By the way, Judd, I'm so sorry, Cicero, to interrupt you. I just thought of this. Did Snack come with us?
Oh yeah, Snack's with you.
Great. Just thought I'd check because I hadn't thought about it.
I think obviously Snack probably isn't welcome inside the ball, but I will say that you're in luck, Rigel, because when it comes to distraction, I think, I, of course, am noble born, and Arisax comes from a noble kingdom. We should be able to sufficiently socialize and provide the very keen hands of the pickpockets like Tabby and perhaps even you, Seville, a chance to scurry about and steal these keys.
Oh, I have someone in mind that can help us out tremendously. I'll unveil this friend of ours before we leave.
What?
Okay.
Unveil a friend, you say?
Oh, yes. You're gonna like her.
It all sounds very dramatic.
Well, I certainly want to help in any way I can, so I suppose I'll do this. And I grab this very iridescent blue-green gauzy number that has the kind of sleeves that go way past like the middle finger, that are kind of like that cut where, if you had on a ring, it would
like Elsa.
Kind of like Elsa, yes, Tabby. And it's very like Elsa also. It's tightly corseted, but with a kind of very fine leather. So there's a kind of mix of this gauzy iridescence and this very fine leather, and then this very beautiful kind of tufted but subtly tufted A-line skirt. And she always a kind of a headpiece grabs what she finds, which is a little intricate headpiece and bejeweled headpiece as well. And she trails off after Dagmara to see where she can find a changing room.
But we should put a very clear plan into motion, is what I mean. Have roles very clearly defined for this operation.
That's all well and good. But as I said, there are keys.
Yes, and they're on the people at the ball, correct?
Well, they're not keys. But they are keys when put together. So maybe you would want to know whom you need to find.
Yeah.
And as I'm
most
exiting
certainly.
the dressing room, kind of like adjusting my sash, I just say, well, in that case, in order to find them, we need to ask around. And in order to ask around, we need to be quite approachable. So, I think we all look quite dashing. I suppose we can make a diplomatic impression tonight. Slip back into that tactic.
But it sounds like you may know who has the keys. Oh, sorry, the keys that are not keys but are keys. You know among the guests who has them?
But of course.
Well, come on out with it then.
Yes, who do you think I am? But first,
And he walks to all of you, and he hands you all these almost opaque masks, each of you.
Oh, wow. Masquerade!
Wow.
And,
I like it.
and he says,
These are masks of transformation. They will transform your appearance for 24 hours.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so can I ask you a question?
You
Does
just
this
did.
mean? Can I ask you another one? I want to ask you.
You just did.
If this means I can actually choose from more of this wardrobe, because I imagine that you don't have any other children-sized clothes for me to choose. So this could broaden my fashion choices.
Oh,
Yes.
brutal.
Great. And I immediately put it on.
all right. So,
We'll find out what I'm into.
yeah.
I will say it
That's
actually.
even how it works.
It can raise your appearance by a foot.
Oh.
So you're gonna look a foot taller than you are now.
And I just say, Tabby, wait. And I just like scurry around on the ground. Oh, these are perfect. And I take out like these high heel like boots, really
A
like
foot plus
platform
some
and high heel.
Platform? Perfect. I'm basically a full-sized human now.
It's
70s.
different now.
Otto like changes his to like it looks exactly like him, except it's like a more pronounced chin and is like a little bit more muscular and has like
The
a little bit
mustache
of
is like
wrinkles.
here.
That's it. He didn't
Just
use it to disguise himself at all. He did like magical plastic surgery on himself.
There you go. There you go.
Auto V2, love it.
That's
Yeah.
so funny.
His calves are
His chest and like shoulders just got like more muscular and like
Just
that's all he did.
total enhancement. I got it.
his calves are really swole, bruh.
It's like a filter.
Yeah.
Like filter, yeah.
He starts to make them be big, and then he like sees that they're way too tight in the pants, and he's like, "Oh, all right," and then he like,
Really getting him move much.
yeah. But, yeah. He doesn't have to change his mustache at all because it was already so perfect.
Yeah, it was. Oh, right.
So,
And I just changed my hair color. I'm gonna change it to like this silvery platinum.
Cool.
Such an oxymoron. Let's say platinum.
Oh, and
Love it.
The hair is what they're gonna come after.
I do like a Phantom of the Opera style, like half dragon lizard like scales on half of my face, like a
Very
kind of like very like you really wouldn't recognize me because most of my face is covered with dragon scale, but other than that, I don't think I do anything else. Actually, no, I make myself shorter, so I'm Tabby's height.
all right.
Yeah, so she and I are kind of like, so I get to see the world, what it's like to be like.
Yeah, it might be worth
Her.
noting for anybody intending to pickpocket guests tonight, being small might actually be better, right?
Perhaps.
Perhaps, yeah.
Bill, this is your chance.
So you see me transform and I lose Seville completely. My body changes to this elegant female. Still just a little under my height, but just ripped, shredded in black leathers, black boots, a little
This
silver
better not
trim.
be the friend you were talking about.
Oh, here she is, my friend.
Uh-oh.
I was
you see
starting
the-
to get excited.
You see this just gorgeous black, jet black hair that hangs down to the side that's shaved on this side. Just an elegant face and only one sort of iridescent earring that hangs down because, well, I have misplaced my other one.
Hate it when that happens.
Well, I do hope you find it.
And my name is Sava Utiel.
Oh dear.
All
Who
right.
are you?
Yeah.
So Tabitha immediately recognizes this woman that Seville has transformed into.
Oh,
From where?
Oh.
I just walked.
From
Yeah.
way back in the day, honey, from on Faerun. And yes, and so I'm telling you guys that, but what she says is "Oh, Seville, pleasure to see you." As what was the name again?
Sava Utiel.
Oh, Savotia really rolls off the tongue, doesn't
Yes.
Yes. It is so nice to see you again, my friend. Only this time, well, you're not knocked out.
it? Not yet, at least.
I'm not yet.
I'm
Not while I'm around, my friend. Not while I'm around.
Ah, and then Tabitha maybe like is making some connections in her mind that maybe we'll think about. But so I imagine everyone's leaving, and
I'm thinking about them right now. What are you two going on about?
Oh,
much more important stuff at hand happening right now.
Yes, we need to question this man. My sleeper
So-
holds don't work forever. You understand?
Yeah, so Rigel is so he's handed out the masks, then he goes over to Ariset and he gives her a pouch. He says,
These Valier coins.
how do you say that?
It's Valiere.
Valieri. None of us can say it tonight.
Yes.
It's Valieri.
It's all from the Valiere.
There's an accent aigu in the middle.
Valiere. Oh, la, la.
Valiere.
Yes.
That's you gotta prolong that. Got it.
Everyone got all their Valieri jokes out all at once.
And as a reminder, that means the Crown's Guard. That's the formal name of the Crown's Guard.
Yes.
Ah,
Otto has one
I
of those.
totally knew that.
Use these coins to get by the Crown's Guard.
Then he goes over to Dagmara and he gives her a flask.
Ooh.
And he says, Dagmara, this is a flask of ever-flowing. It pours oil.
And he looks at her as he holds it in his hands, as she's got both hands on it. He looks her in the eyes and he says,
I want this back.
oh,
Okay.
he goes
Back you
over
shall
to oh, I'm sorry.
I was saying back you'll have it. And tonight, Rigel, it is Serendi. Off to my mom.
Serendi.
And he goes over to Sava and he hands her a small stone brick.
And he says, if you throw this down, it will create a 6x6 stone wall.
Ooh.
Then
Perfect for a.
Then he looks around.
You don't
And-
happen to have a flask of ever-flowing wine, do you?
And
Or maybe a mirror.
he looks at Otto
I've got one of those.
and he says,
Here.
and he gives you this belt. And
And he says, this belt has a secret. If you turn that clasp, it will shoot out acid and dissolve most metals.
Very good indeed.
Now, you have everything you need to
Rigel,
complete your task.
Can I ask a question? What does this oil do? Not to be
Oh, it's probably just
silly
oil.
one in the group, but
My belt shoots acid. Hers, she summons a stone wall. Yours is just
and I
oil.
just got oil.
Right, well,
I mean, it can come in handy though. Like sometimes.
what can you do with
Fire.
oil?
Put it on
Okay.
crackers.
Good for hair.
If you
No, I
have
just think about and I
the
just think about all
popcorn,
the little games that we played when I was all the little games that I played when I was a kid, and the little puzzles that he gave us. Like, I
Right.
see.
and you have all that you need, except the who.
Yes, who indeed?
And there are three.
Well, we know that much.
The first
Okay.
is Stuart Tyrell's husband. Stuart Tyrell is not here, but his husband, Garal, is here, and he wears a charm on his bracelet. It is a small set of wings.
Very Mariah Carey,
Yes.
Yeah.
mid-career.
Early.
Very
I was gonna
cool.
say early.
Otto,
Yes.
his weakness is wine and conversation.
Well,
Oh, it sounds just like you.
What's his name again? I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Gerald.
Name.
Gerald.
Gerald.
Yeah.
wing necklace, weakness to wine.
It's Geral. Yeah.
Yes.
Gerald or whatever you want.
With an umlaut over the A.
Yeah. Definitely, right. Yeah, definitely.
I don't know if you have this sort of sway over language given your station, but you could do with a few less special characters if I'm just speaking bluntly.
Really, I mean,
I
honestly,
didn't name
for
them.
one, I'm a big fan of umlaut, so I mean, speak for yourself, Otto.
more.
Yes.
Tell me.
I did not name them, but the second is the shaft of a quill found on the desk of the captain of the guard. His name is Ibalin.
Evelyn.
Evelyn, but I don't understand the shaft of the quill part. That threw me.
That is the key. We're
It
not
is
trying to find the people. We're trying to find the
Oh, so the winged
It's-
charm is one of the keys. Got it.
it is
And then the shaft of the quill on Evelyn's desk is
We've got like a
key.
little diagram in crayons.
Got it.
Totally.
Is the
yes.
Got it. On this.
It is golden, and it unscrews from feather plume. He has no known weaknesses or vices, so we will have to draw him out, distract him if we have to.
Okay. Sounds fun.
Okay, loading.
Yes.
Okay.
And when you say distract him, I just pull out a fan, like a Venetian, very rich Venetian fan, and I just
Nice.
like open it, and I just kind of cover where I would carry that flask in a little purse, and just very, very carefully.
And you said that's at a
Hold it in
guard.
front.
That's on the desk.
The captain of the guard,
Right.
on the desk of the captain of the guard.
Gold.
Which you know is also
Name
in the
is
palace.
Evelyn.
Right.
Okay.
Suran,
Duran.
the financier, has the last key. She's the top admin in Asley, and she runs anything that needs money.
The woman
She-
after my own heart.
She is incredibly intelligent. So
looking?
she is very comely. But the jewel on the pommel of her dagger unscrews and attaches to the rest of the key. She has done well for herself and appreciates those who admire her.
Ooh.
Ah, all right.
She will also be at the ball.
So could we say that like maybe she survives off of compliments like someone else I know? It's me.
Similar.
Is that all of us though? I mean, in a way. I mean,
We are kind of
yes.
like that.
some of us more than others.
While he's explaining some of the people, Otto is nodding along and taking in this information as he is also applying a second sleeper.
Yeah.
Right.
He's got like the guy's arm like up over his head, and he's just sort of like, right, go on,
And
yeah.
I'm like, remember what I
Right.
said. Remember what I said.
There's a little bit of foam coming out of his
Yeah.
mouth.
Yeah. His
Just like
tongue is
looking,
out.
I'm like, well, I think he's out for a bit longer anyway.
So we need to get these.
Once you have these keys, return to me.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Are you going to be
without
adding?
Make it sound so easy.
We'll get it done.
Are you going to be with us, or is this kind of like a us on our own kind of thing?
I will be at the ball, but I will not be with you.
Okay, and are you going to change? Because so far you've just made the same like fashion choices, and we all have had transformations here.
So he looks at her, and he winks, and he takes his hand, and he snaps his fingers, and his entire outfit changes.
He's got such dope tricks.
His hair goes from red to like a very light sandy blonde.
Okay. Oh, like David Bowie and Labyrinth.
Related
Yes.
here.
And then his very maroon clothes turn to a very rich blue like velvet.
I knew it. I knew we were going blue. I knew it. I feel it.
and
Crushed velvet.
he's got gold trims, gold piping down like by his legs. And he has the most badass Prince boots on.
No.
Daddy, watch out. She has a thing for Prince boots,
I
so
have a thing for Prince. In
yeah. It
The last,
heated up quickly last time.
yeah, the last Prince wannabe turned out to not be very cool. You're looking much cooler.
Yeah. But really, even though he wasn't very cool, she was like that on it. I was into that. About that.
I know.
Yeah.
I can't
All right.
stand
Can I just say that what I've added to the look, just to make sure that I'm not seen, of course, is not just the hair, but I've made my whole face also very almost like marble white, almost like a porcelain doll, and the eyes are like very, very, very faintly gray. So just a very completely different persona, almost like a Cinderella type of look, as opposed to like the darker skin Dagmara. So really making sure I'm not noticed. I didn't want to just change the hair and give us all away.
Got it.
So just let you know.
I haven't really described what I did. I just said I put it on right away. So just so everyone knows, she's wearing like way too much stuff still. It's way over accessorized. It's mostly purple, this new outfit. She's gotten a little bit taller, and she is really short, severe, straight, dark hair now, as opposed to like long.
Ooh, very
Nice.
fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this is very.
Wow.
Otto
Yes.
looks great. He didn't take anything off the rack because, of course, among his possessions is already fine clothes that were tailor-made to fit him so well. So, he's looking like a hottie. But he says, well, like I said, we're all looking the part great, but we should definitely discuss some plans before we make our grand appearance.
One last thing.
Yes, of course.
As I said, Stuart Tyrell is not here.
Yes.
We must find the people, grab the items, assemble the key, find the vault, retrieve the skull, close the vault, and not be seen before Stuart Tyrell
He's here.
gets back.
Oh, lovely. Yeah.
Do we know what time we can expect him?
There's no telling.
Well, this is simple. This is simple too. In fact, I would say you I'm sure are well acquainted with how visitors are arriving. We could delay this. Given your rank as security, you could perhaps ensure that something, perhaps excessive security or otherwise, is done to delay our esteemed guest.
Well, I would say, Rigel, are all dances still performed? The line dances? The ones that Asley so loves.
Yeah, the Cupid Shuffle, right?
Yeah.
Do we still do that?
But of course.
The achy breaking heart. Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Let me just say that those, and if we may take, at that point, I'm kind of like trying to remember all those dances with like touching palms, pulling away, crossing.
Right.
If those dances are still performed, that, let me tell you, might be a wonderful, perfect moment to snag something here, to create a connection there.
Oh, but of course.
I think we can do it as gently as possible until we can.
You make a good point. All I was saying was to buy us even more time to do all of that. We should try and come up with a way to delay the arriving.
Oh, yes.
Not Giral, but Giral's husband, right?
Right, Tarael.
I have an idea. I have an idea.
And before you go there, Erised, just to remind you all, because he's already told you this at the tavern, which was only, a few minutes ago, Steward Tyrell is the head of the entire city. So he is he's the most prominent person in Asley.
Sounded very fancy.
Yeah.
The head honcho.
Yeah.
And I didn't even need to know. He's like that kind of a name where you just don't even need to ask because it's just people say it with the kind of sound that you're like, yeah, I totally, of course.
Someone should go and put like a stick in the spokes of his
Right, something
carriage.
like that. Subterfuge could be done, or something far less risky but equally stalling would be simply that if Rigel could send some of his men to stop the carriage and inspect it, or push them aside for their own safety due to a threat. Something along those lines, which isn't so risky as that.
Otto, you as if you read my mind. This is my thought.
And I'm no Mendeleo.
Now, Rigel, you mentioned most of the guests haven't yet arrived, correct? So we go to the very front, and you tell the guards that there is a potential threat tonight, minor, but as an extra precaution, we'll be patting down all of the guests for security. And before they enter, even, we pat them all down. And then in the meantime, you ride up ahead and keep Stuart at bay.
I don't think that's necessary, because then we'll be slower.
Wait, I'm starting to rethink whether or not you are the right people for this job.
It's brilliant.
Why?
Please.
Why?
Allow the security of the city to me and my devices.
No,
But
it's
you'll
a
slow it
ruse.
down
Don't
as
you
much
see?
as
It's
you
a
can.
ruse. It's a ruse.
You have a job. Remain on task. I will take care of everything else.
I agree
Just make
with
sure
Rigel.
you take care of it, and take care of it quickly.
We have our marks. We have their weaknesses and strengths. We're just going to find out who among us has the key to get inside their heads
Final
to be able to
question.
take the key.
Well,
To find that out.
And I'm going to jump in here because it's time for our break, and I'm trying to shut y'all down. So with that final line from Rigel, and he says, you got to do it, and you got to do it quickly.
But I have a question, a very important question that will help us, I promise. Yes. What is a signal we're going to use to communicate to each other?
Well, there's a
throughout
lot.
this giant place.
There's a lot we haven't discussed.
You can, you can.
There is a lot we haven't discussed.
Yes, you have the
That's
bird
not even a
call.
question.
We can do the rest of the logistics when we come back, but we are going to take a quick break. Thank you all. I want to remind you one more time that we have our big giveaway. So if you, let's see. So hopefully you follow the rules. You followed us. You've done all those bits. The code word is dungeon. So please enter it in chat, and we are going to do the drawing at the end of the show, but Start entering it now. Code word dungeon. Enter it once in chat, and you'll be automatically entered for that awesome necromantic skull dice holder. It's amazing.
Which could double as your own personal skull of what?
Of holding, of dice holding.
No, the skull that we're trying to.
Yes.
Oh yes,
yeah.
Sorry, yes.
Tanothiel.
As we talked about on our socials, there is obviously a narrative tie-in to our giveaway. So it's jumping out of the screen at you if you win. So code word dungeon, and we'll be back in 10 minutes. Hang out with us.
Maybe that should be our code word inside the ball. Dungeon.
Subtle, very subtle.
Yeah.
We'll be right back,
word is
everybody.
Baba Booey.
I hear there are wonderful dungeons around here.
You just have to pull the plug, man. We're not.
Yeah, I know. Thank you for that. We'll be right back.
We're done.
I can count a potato.
Thank you. And we're back. Hello.
Count to potato.
Peter's serious about it.
And I told him, get that bunion out of my face.
The bunny.
Well, it appears someone has their
Put it closer to the
animal companion familiar.
camera. Oh, so cute.
That's BB the bunny, and she's like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Can you just can you cut this out?"
Me down.
Phoebe's really mad.
Yeah, you think?
Phoebe's like giving me the look of I'm not gonna forgive you for this.
BB, roll an
She
attack.
could make a hand gesture with her phone. She would.
Oh,
Those are not capers on your desk.
spoken like a former rabbit owner, I think.
Funny pellets. All right, everyone.
Pellets.
Those are not capers.
So,
Those are not.
bringing it back in. Since I think we had a little bit of logistical wrap up before you guys jaunt down to the gala, I'll let you guys go ahead and wrap that up, and then we will transition.
Yes, I do want to just remind you too. We were hoping to question the guy, but I
Or
say
can
to you
we
guys,
keep him here?
Yeah, I mean, we got to figure out what to do with this dude, right? And that might be heavily informed by what we learned questioning him, what we want to do with him. But I say to you guys, well, it sounds as though we each have a target to go after inside the party. So
Can we just review who
Wait.
Yes.
going for which
We'd love
target?
to
Because I
review.
don't know that we.
yeah, let's go over that. And as we do so, I just wanted to also put out there, to Dagmara's earlier point, we should have not just one plan, but a contingency plan if that goes wrong, and perhaps even
Yes.
another, because we need to have multiple ways, since we may be sort of in disguise and not near one another and even separated from each other considerably. We need to have multiple ways to eventually get those keys down into the vault below. So
That's A, B,
I just
C,
want to
D,
make sure we do that.
Okay, so looking at the list of people, 3 people, I think it's an obvious choice that Gariel,
Geralt.
Gerald.
Rawl.
creative
Gerald.
spelling in my notes, you guys.
Yeah.
Geralt.
So his main
Rob
weakness
Butler.
is charm. So
Otto.
No, his main weakness is wine, I thought.
Wine and convo.
And conversation.
Yes, wine and
okay, well,
conversation.
look again.
Oh, charm as in charm. Like, oh, I thought you meant like he had a weakness for the kind of charm you're going to be pilfering from his charm bracelet.
Well, I'll have the man's charm bracelet. You can count on me.
Okay, so that's
All right.
perfect.
Good. Perfect.
Now,
Eating.
the distraction one, which is the clue is the quill, the shaft of the quill.
Yes, Evelyn.
Evelyn.
Evelyn. That's the
Yes,
captain of the guard.
yes.
The distraction situation, who would be good for that?
I was thinking that perhaps I might, in my Sava form right here, maybe I can well, create a story with, you remember the captain of the guard in Navir? His name was Ivo. Tabitha, I think you may have been looking at him. Well, he's dead. And I can play that he might have been one of my lovers. I can also connect something to Vorden, and maybe I'm just here looking for some information about his killer, maybe just to stay close to the guards, something like that. I think I can work that angle.
And if I go with you, while you distract him, I can sneak by. And
you could also do a bit of flirting. Hello?
I thought that too, perhaps, Tabby, as a backup.
Are you trying to make Seville jealous?
Otto, I don't know what you mean.
Oh, sorry. Just never mind me.
Okay, and that leaves us with
And I'm just like grinning in
Saran?
Arison.
Saran.
Yes.
Saran.
I think that should be you, Tabby.
Finances.
Yes.
Money talk.
Money. Tabitha.
money talks, and she survives off of compliments. Perfect for me.
Like a soulmate,
Yes.
Kind of.
right?
Now-
Like you could become best friends.
No, that could be great. Even though I'm going to steal from her. Promise.
Yeah, it'll get in the way of that, yeah.
Now, should we have maybe Dagmara be our rover or lookout in case any of us need backup, run interference, see if she could
Yes,
just
I was thinking that I
distract?
might float around and I might scope and try to pick up a few dances, a few conversations, and just
Maybe
be the
pass-
lightest presence as possible.
Pass updates among everyone's
Yes.
progress to one another.
Just roll
Yes.
through this information if anybody gets
Oh.
in trouble.
How about this?
No problem.
How about this? A code, right? Come on, Seville, you're a secret agent.
Yes.
You know this sort of thing. If things are going well, you could say, I don't know, that the weather's supposed to be lovely tomorrow, and if things are going bad, you can say, oh, did you hear there's a storm brewing? I don't know, help me out here.
So
That's
we
a
can
good
go
idea,
like this.
yes.
I hope this party lasts all night. I love the music. Something positive about the thing, and then if something is awry, what could be our code to leave the place immediately?
I hear a storm is coming.
Yes.
There we are.
Okay, that
So,
works.
I hope this party lasts all night, and there's a
I
storm
hear a
coming.
storm is coming.
Yes,
Okay.
storm's coming.
I hope we're
not
all
lovely
practicing
weather,
it.
but I hope
hope
the
this
party
party
lasts
lasts
all
all night.
Oh, I just hope this party lasts all night.
Whoa.
I'm hearing like an 80s disco song. Like,
Right, I was too.
I'm digging it, whatever that is.
Come on,
The
yeah.
this
synthwave.
party lasts all night.
Yes,
It's pretty in pink night. Come on. Flock of
all
seagulls.
about it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And
And then our rendezvous.
Oh, yeah.
Are we going to come back here?
Yes.
And
Yes.
how would we get in without you? Are
Yes.
you going to be with us or?
Don't worry. I'll be here. Now,
enough.
your plan is set in motion,
Yes.
but not to put too fine a point on it. This must be done. You must not
Quickly as
fail.
possible, and it
Yes.
is done perfectly. We know.
If Stuart Tyrell returns and hands the skull to the Necros, all is lost.
Game over.
All
Yeah.
is lost.
Yeah.
You must not fail. Enjoy yourselves.
I do better under pressure, my friend.
Chipper's always.
I tend to choke under pressure.
And Rigel, as you finish that, and you're all having these kind of last moments of conversation, you see behind you the guy on the floor suddenly just like throws a hand out, and he's got a small little blade, very small, like a 2-inch blade in his hand, kind of plants his hand, kicks his legs up, and in this kind of like Jedi move, kind of pivots off of his hand, lands on his feet, reaches out with his left hand and grabs one of the rapiers, Seville, that you put aside.
No way.
And he stands and he's like, I just want to know what the hell is going on here.
Ooh, good question and nice
well-
move. But perhaps someone will need to do another sleeper hold on him.
Well, now, if
I'm
you're
not
willing
that
to
great at
listen,
those.
What happened? Did we lose someone?
we lost.
Oh, we lost your
we
lovely
lost
wife.
Wild Sauce.
No, Wild Sauce, what did she do?
Showbiz, kids.
Saucy.
Come on.
Look,
Okay.
it's
After these messages.
Yeah.
That's why we
We'll
call
be
it
right
Microsoft.
back. Let me go. We'll be right there, everyone.
We'll be right back.
The hottie. He's still alive, right?
He was
Okay.
a good
All
bone.
Is he
kinds
still
of
looking hot?
all kinds of fun tonight, y'all. All right, thank you for hanging in there. We're back. All
I'm
right.
so sorry. I think Erisette literally choked and just bamfed the fuck out of that. Like, I think I literally just like, you know, where I'm like, oops, what? I accidentally just, poof, I'm out. Whoops.
Yeah,
Fuck this shit.
you did foreshadow it, so there you go.
That's
true.
That's
Did
a
you-
bamf, y'all. That's a bamf.
Did you steal Seville's ring and finally get it to work again?
Work, yeah.
Oh,
someone's-
it was like,
yeah.
no, I peed my pants a little and then I bamfed. Like, that's what pretty much went down
There
there.
you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
a little pish.
Yeah.
Just a little.
I don't want to bring team morale down, but as I smell the urine, I am a little nervous.
Yeah.
So to bring us
Let's
back
hope
in,
it's-
it took
Okay,
me.
so you got
it
this
took,
edge guard
it
here,
took me a
but-
second to remember. Yeah, and Rigel, you see that his eyes are on you, and as the head of security for Asley, you know that this person answers to you to some degree, and so there's a lot of confusion on his face, and he's only looking at you, Rigel. And he's holding the blade out, and he jumps. He's like throws the blade up in the air, and he like shoots his little dagger to the other hand, and grabs his rapier in his strong hand. And all right, one more time, what is going on here?
I think Otto is just literally stunned, like with a glass of wine out. He's just like,
Clearly, you have stumbled upon my companions, and you understand that they are on my business.
I understand that, yes, but I was under strict orders from my commander to find Ranta and bring him in. You know of those orders as well, I'm sure, but and he's looking around.
Did you
and
know of those orders? Did you know of those orders?
Well, he speaks true.
My word, what a plot twist.
Where did he
Well,
go,
then
by the
we're
way?
doubly appreciative of you, I suppose, for helping us. But listen, Seville, what's this friend of yours' name? This
This is no friend. He tried to kill him.
Edgeguard. Well, you should have killed him, but obviously you cared about him. So
Seville.
what's his name?
So this is you now.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, for crying out loud, guys! Like, you guys forgot that you had changed your appearances.
Yes.
There is
All
a,
right, so I take off the mask. I'll take off the mask. Listen, Brother Edge,
Oh,
there is much you do not know, and we have accomplished more in 6 days than Larar has been able to do in I don't know how long. Listen, I don't know if we can go into it now, but I have hard evidence, we have hard evidence that the Larar has been compromised by the necromancers. So has Tanae. I've been listening and working with Larar. She put us on the mission, and then as soon as the necromancers bamfed out of Mankutha, when I contacted the Larar, I got she was chaotic. Suddenly I was a traitor. Suddenly everything I told her was
That's what I heard.
Just
They told me
dismissed.
you let other people from beyond the storm into Anacroli. You failed your job from the beginning, and now you're stopping some power that's supposed to protect Anacroli. You're getting in the way. That's all we've been told.
No, it is
Listen
not.
to me,
All
something,
due
whatever your
respect.
name is.
Hold on.
I would have gotten into this city whether or not somebody had let me in. I take offense at that.
Wait. Just listen. We are trained not to be so rigid. You know how we're trained. There are moments when you need to make a decision, man. And I made one on that ship, but we don't have time to discuss that. Yes, I did not sink the ship and kill who are now my friends.
Hello.
But it is good that I didn't, because they have helped me gather intel, like I said, that implicates these necromancers. And I'm not going to be on a necromancer's side that bleeds out bodies, turns good citizens of Lukenor into skeletons to fight, and whatever the hell's going on. Larar and Tanae have been manipulated. They manipulated an entire town of Lukenor, mentally controlled them, man. I have it all here. We have books, we have paperwork.
You can see here, clearly, we're all on the same side, it seems. The necromancers haven't used their corrupting magic to take over our minds. So,
No.
perhaps this is a moment to restore some trust.
And I didn't kill you, man. I brought you back to
Exactly.
life. I was just defending myself. 5 against 1, man. Come on.
And
Are you all
I
red?
very, very, very brazenly step towards him and I say, you must see the logic in that, don't you?
And his blade's up, kind of like at your throat, and just holds it there. Seville, roll a persuasion check for me.
Cocked. Yeah, not much better. Let's see. Persuasion 13.
What about me? Do I get to persuade?
Sure.
Brother. I've got no other family.
She's like, I'm literally stroking the guy's face. Come on.
Come on. Is it at advantage anymore? Because probably not. Because
No.
I have subliminal
Listen.
power. Then
You owe me this. You owe me a conversation. We have business
Nate.
to do right now, but you owe me a conversation. Stay here. I saved your life, man. I could have just let you bleed out, but I didn't because you're brother Edge. Yeah, I
And
know
you
what
see
information
his
you
eyes
had.
kind of shoot down to where his wounds are, healing still. And
Just
I
give me
need
a
to
chance
s-
to explain.
let me see this evidence you have.
When we
Well,
get
we're
back,
a bit short on time at the moment.
listen, when we get back, I'll show you everything we have. Just believe in me, brother. I would never turn my back on the Edge of my kingdom. Certain people, yes, but never the Edge, never for what we stand for. That's our family. We gave up our family for this stuff. Just believe in me, man. Believe.
And you see the rapier slowly lowers down. I honestly don't know what to believe. And he turns around and he says, knock me out. You have till I wake up.
Not bad.
I'm like, don't worry, guys. I've got him. And I go over and give him a little pat on the shoulder. And I'm like, all right.
The rapier falls to the ground and
You're strong.
he goes limp in your hands.
And I just maneuver him over to.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Hey, wait.
What have you done?
Choke him out.
Just-
My turn.
just
My
now.
turn.
Rigel, can we put him in your secret room and just lock him in there?
No.
Okay.
That's
Put
what
it into the dresses. I
There's a clear answer. Those are boundaries.
I like it.
I have a new
Saying no is a
finisher.
talent.
All right. Well, we're going to have to trust him. I trust him.
I don't. I keep him tied.
He owes me his
again.
life.
Room being guarded
Get
by
out of
like
my
a
knot.
million people.
Yeah, there's a million people. Yeah.
May I
So, I mean, like,
suggest
there's
this?
guards outside of this room that we're in.
We could. Yeah.
ahead,
Could we keep it?
Dagmara.
Could we ensure this room is kept
Yes.
safe?
Yes,
And-
Dagmara.
Well, if I may
Is
so
always kept safe.
humbly
Yes.
suggest that I can indeed, surprisingly, charm people, and I can charm him for an hour, during which hour he will act as our ally. He can be my consort. He can be my companion, or whoever's companion he would like.
He'll
or
be
would like,
identified.
and he will work on our side.
That sounds like a rather
Very
dubious spell.
interesting. I
just
say
have-
he can be a date.
Well, careful. He'll
Yes.
be identified. If any
Well,
are, and if any
Rigel
edge of
has a
this
whole closet
Yes,
of knickknacks.
Rigel.
party.
And as you guys are
I don't
talking,
know
you
if he
hear
has a closet of masks.
there's a knock, and it's
shit.
muffled through the thick door, and you hear one of the guards, Rigel, outside say, "Regent, will you be joining the party? They're waiting for you."
Just waiting to make an entrance.
Very good, sir. Very good.
Yes. We must go.
Do we do it or not?
I think.
Do we
he'll be
charm him
seen.
or not? Do we want to worry about him for the next hour? Do
Charm
we
him.
want to use him?
Charm him good.
Charm him.
Charm
He
him.
is-
Right then.
He is, however, well, you know, we'll see if it would work. I'd have to actually look at that spell because he is unconscious at the moment.
Right. Right.
He is. Can we wake him up real quick? Pickle juice, something, anything?
Pickle juice.
Yeah, I've got extra
Slap
pickle
in the
juice.
face.
Smelling salts.
Squeeze your hair out.
Yeah, that's great. On the night he's going to the ball, he's wearing so much cologne right now and perfume because he's like, why did I have to do that bit with the damn pickle juice?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You do
He
smell
smells like orchids and brine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this.
That sounds like a boutique shop on Ventura Boulevard.
Yes.
Yeah.
The magic of this
Orchids and
spell
brine.
would require him to
Orchids
be conscious. So I would say it's not going to work while he's
It's too late now.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, I wish you would have
Well,
said
never
something
mind.
before I applied my lethal maneuver.
You could wait, or you know,
wait.
and of course, then the
Dagmara,
DM's
no,
going to
we
start
can't.
telling you about the time frame. But
Dagmara, keep that spell. Dagmara, keep that spell handy. You might need to charm somebody else.
So,
That's a very good point.
Consider it a
so,
blessing.
so Rigel makes his way towards the door. I think you guys take that as a hint that you
We
also
gotta
should be
follow, yeah.
make your way to the door. He
yes.
motions back to the unconscious man to bring him along. So you bring the edge guard to the door with you.
Okay.
So the door opens. When the door opens, he looks at one of the guards. And he looks at the unconscious edge guard, and
Says, find a place for him to sleep that off.
no problem. And you see them. They take him, and two of them take him off down the hall.
right. And so he goes. The guard goes down one hole, or the guards go down one hole. We go down the other hole.
Okay.
As we're going down the other hole, I assume that we start hearing more and more music. The music starts to get a little bit louder,
Okay.
and we are making our way to the gala area.
DJ, hit that beat.
And I say to everybody, whispering before we become deafened by the sound of the music, this is such a great party, and I hear there's a storm brewing. Just
yes.
as one final reminder to myself
Yes.
and everyone else.
Yes.
Yes.
I hear
yes.
it's a lovely party. Oh, this is such a lovely party, and I hear there's a storm brewing.
Storm brewing. Yes, yes. And I mentally write it on my wrist because such a great party.
You do?
Yes. And I hear
Fuck!
there's
Wait, did you mentally? Did you say mentally?
Mentally.
Mentally write it on your wrist. Yes.
All right.
yeah. It's proven
Like
that
the
if you
Harry Potter
use your
quill.
digits as you memorize, you retain more. So
Oh,
I
I
do
see.
that. Yes, I do.
I see.
I'll walk
Very
up,
important.
Fred, or
walk
I
up to
would like
Arisette
say-
and grab her hand and
Oh, hold
just. Oh, sorry, Tabby.
Go,
ahead.
Tabby.
It's okay. I just wanted to say that before we left the room, I decided that I wanted to switch out of the platform shoes, and I slipped on my secret boots that make me silent.
Oh, okay.
Smart.
So a little bit shorter, but yeah. Once
Okay,
again,
okay.
you walk without making a sound or footprint.
Oh,
Lovely.
love it.
Okay.
I mean, how cool is she? She's got a ball gown and then alligator boots. Come on.
No, they're not alligator
Right.
boots anymore.
Those are my other boots.
Oh, that's
yeah,
right.
these are
I've got
elven
Trying
boots.
to keep up with her shoe
Girl has
collection.
The collection, the tabby collection is
You
just
got
growing.
boots.
And you all hear the music is growing as Rigel leads you down, one hallway to another, and you're taking in the beautiful art and some of these massive windows. You pass into some larger corridors and down these beautiful stone steps, and he's taking you back a different way than the way that you came in. And you see there is a large ballroom ahead of you, and there are fireplaces ringing the outside, and there are people moving through in these like silver with gold trim costumes, and they're like spinning around and handing drinks, and others have food, and they seem to like be dancers that are the ones that actually hand out the food and drinks. So they're just beautifully like spinning through the room, and there's this lovely music playing, and you just take in there are hundreds of people in here, and all beautifully dressed, and you see people in formal military attire who are obviously Crown's Guard elite, politicians, all sorts of merchants, and all sorts of people here milling about in this wonderful room. Now we're
So as we get to the area, Rigel looks back at you guys and nods and says,
I have business that I must attend to.
and he bows a little and he's off.
all right. What are the rest of you doing?
Okay.
I'm gonna look around for my dude.
Remember the
Yeah.
gifts. Remember the
gonna-
gifts.
I'm just
you were
taking
all
the
given.
atmosphere and
Yeah.
I'm like studying
Yes.
the people very carefully, kind of like Sherlock Holmes in the movie is like literally notices every ring, every little ding,
Right.
every person's
Everybody
footsteps.
goes,
Just kind of really.
I'm looking for my. We have like this badass moment where we all like look at each other and like nod before we like disperse.
I imagine there's like a pose moment, very Charlie.
There's a pose moment. Yeah.
Yes.
where
There's
I'll,
a
like,
pose moment.
and then
And,
That's
and
awesome.
then I'm gonna look for anyone wearing a little wing necklace
Bracelet.
and try to find my
It's
dude.
a bracelet.
Yeah.
Or sorry,
it's a charm bracelet,
wing bracelet.
like the Mariah Carey album.
Yes.
You need a little flashback. Like you need to catch up on your
I know.
your vintage.
The Mariah
Yeah.
Carey trivia.
Yeah.
All right. So, you guys are, I'll say that Rigel walked away and you're on these kind of the final bits of stairs that are leading down into this ballroom. So you have a little bit of a heightened perspective. If anybody wants to look around, let me
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Let me do this.
I grab Seville and I say, "Dance with me," and I immediately start to dance with him, and I
know.
say,
It's like, whoa.
I hope you're good at faking this at least. I don't know if you are, but in a moment, I'm going to pretend that I'm getting you to follow me into something more private, and we're going to go upstairs so we can try to find the captain of the guard's room. Does that sound good?
It does. Sounds great.
Excellent. Just
We can also ask too. I have a bit of a play I can use on this, but yes.
What?
Lady to
So-
lady,
Yes.
who's going to lead in this dance?
Before he gets too far away, if it's okay with the DM, I'm going to cast Rary's telepathic bond again with everyone.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So
like that.
so that way I can watch over you guys and give you information that will
like
help
Charlie
you.
and Charlie's Angels.
Yes,
Nice.
exactly.
You're like
That
our
will-
earpiece.
Yes,
You're our
that-
Love
earpiece.
it.
Absolutely.
Hi, Charlie.
Yes, I am.
Did you say we can roll perception?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to do that. I want to try to
Because
find
I
my
got a
dude.
natural 20.
Oh.
Hold on. Natural
So-
20 plus 4,
Yeah.
24.
24.
Nice.
Nice. Okay. And tell me who you're looking for, Dagmara.
Honestly, I would be looking for any of the three. Any of Evelyn, Gerald, and Saran. I'd be
Okay.
looking for any of those
Okay.
as well. Yeah. Looking for any guards around or any figures that could also, if I can look for a few things, just kind of want to find out if I can find those, but also notice any necromancers, anything that could be off.
Okay, you don't see any anybody who's obviously dressed like a necromancer in the party, but you do kind of like immediately search for that. But yeah, I mean,
sense something.
but you check because you heard that they kind of bamfed into town wearing the robes, so there's a chance. But you quickly scan, you don't see that. But you do pick up really quickly. You see this large kind of group, where you see there's a nucleus of this meeting, and then there's several rings of people around, and there's obviously somebody important there, and you just get this.
That get you a little bit? That got you a little bit.
I'm looking for the evil people in the room.
Saw that I sniped you on that one.
They're over brooding in the corner.
Maybe they're like, like
evil is my
Snape.
point.
Man, just like Snape,
Yeah.
thinking it kind of is subtle, but not.
Well, I'm talking about not to bring up Sherlock Holmes, but like the guy who had the plastic surgery, he was the only guy that wouldn't turn when the commotion happened. So like I'm looking for anyone that might be moving a little suspiciously or like.
No, I like that.
Yeah.
But your eye kind of naturally finds some of these kind of prominent people who seem to be at the center of the cluster of these groups around the room. And you see a tall, like blonde hair that's really sort of kind of poofed up a little bit in a very like ostentatious kind of hairstyle. And you start to look away again, but he gestures up in the air, and you just see this glint of silver or platinum kind of shining around his wrist. And you think that could be him. Assuming Rigel kind of gave you kind of descriptions of these people back in the office, and you think, well, okay, that must be Gerald.
Yeah.
And again, it's quite a packed room. You see a woman on the far side. There's a large kind of spread of other foods that are available, and there's a woman who you see who turns, who just. You think it might be the financier, Saran. And that's all you see. What do the rest of you get? And
I
what are you
rolled a
looking
19. I'm looking for Gerald.
So you also spot him in that same moment. He kind of draws attention to himself when he raised his hand up into the air.
Yeah, and I am gonna just move toward his direction. Is he by himself or with a group?
There are like 20 people kind of roughly around him. He's talking to one person, and then there's a ring of like another 8 people.
So I think I just want to like get close and like maybe eavesdrop a little bit before, and in my mind I'm also gonna like try to get my story straight about who I am before I talk to him.
Okay.
So I just sort of like listen for a moment.
All right, so we'll come back to you as Otto makes his way down towards that group. What are the rest of you doing?
So I am going straight to where I would assume the ladies' bathroom is, because I'm looking for a person who loves compliments and is full of themselves, so they might want to look at themselves in the mirror.
Interesting. Okay. Why don't you?
How close is Tabby to me though? Because I just notice.
Yeah. You're all standing right there at this moment. I mean, only Otto started to move off. And Rigel has as well.
I just say, oh, what a wonderful party. Actually, excuse me, I'm changing my accent. What a wonderful party. This is beautiful.
Okay. I can't change my accent. The Australian is just like so deeply embedded in me. I'm like, okay. What do you...
And then I just kind of like, as I do that and you come close to me, I suppose, I kind of open my fan and I start to wave it, and I cover us a little bit. Just look right there to the left, by the food. Do you see her?
Oh, there she is. Thank you.
That's your girl.
Big Mara, what should I call you? You didn't work out a fake name.
Sarandy for tonight.
Saranda.
D.
Okay.
Yes.
You can call me Lady Palm. Lady Palm. Yeah, like
Lady
a
Palm.
Lady Palm.
Lady Palm.
I love it. You look dashing.
Thank you.
Go and get her.
To you. Okay, and I glide down the stairs.
Okay.
Go compliment my friend Saran Rock.
That was gonna hurt. Okay.
Keep it fun, y'all.
All right. And Erisette and Seville, you guys are off starting to move and dance.
I'm dancing with him, and I'm saying, well, what's your plan then? What is it?
All right. Well, I rolled a natural 20, so my perception is 27.
Okay.
And I'm looking for Koska. I just want to see if he is here.
So
as I've been face to face with the
Ariset starts pulling you down
Yeah.
the steps and starts to dancing. You were trying to, get a good look here around the room. And right before you take that final step and kind of disappear into the level of everybody else, time slows and you connect as this face turns and you immediately see, dressed in a like very fine garments and with several other people, but unmistakable the instant you lock eyes with him. Koska is on the far side of the room, and you just see him for a second and he turns again and he's talking to a small group of people, and they're standing near a fireplace.
So letting Ariset lead, Sava, I just say, so Ariset, do you remember when I snuck into Mankutha and was almost killed?
Oh, yes.
Well, the leader of the necromancers is here, and I just kind of take over for a second. And I spin her to face, and I just face the man, and I just describe him.
That's dope.
Before I turn her around, and we're just kind of, dancing. So they're here, so we must move quickly. You asked me about a plan.
Yes.
Do you remember the man Ivel? He was a Crown's god in Navir. He was killed, but he was the one who put us into that cell right when we got here.
Yes. And in the lower regions, when we were almost auctioned off and we had to go fight in the pits. Yes, okay.
Well, I was thinking that maybe you and I could play that we're, I don't know, maybe a lover. I was thinking of just being a lover of his and something like that, and getting close to some of these Crown's gods and just spilling a tale that I've heard he was killed, and maybe we just find out where the office of Ibeline is, or ask for him or something. I was going to play the old my lover is dead, and I just
have a better idea, and I hope you'll take it.
Yes.
I think we should pretend that we're lovers and that we're trying to find something private.
Pretend, they say.
And I mean, who wouldn't afford two young ladies a chance to have some privacy at a party? I mean, and worst comes to worst, if they become curious and they want to join us, you can stab them or do something to them, and then they're done.
Stab them.
That was a spectrum right there.
I love this plan, and I love she's trying to get her.
And I just
lost in the fantasy of it. She already is.
So I dip Ariset, and I'm like, wild sauce. That's a hell of a plan. We're going with yours.
Imagine this.
Excellent.
So yes, Ariset and I will begin to kind of maybe even bump into some Crown's Guard and maybe start Ariset's plan.
Okay, and you're heading towards the captain's office, which again, Rigel told you how to get there. So you are kind of down on the main floor, and you would have to kind of go off to your right to another hallway down there.
We're off.
All right, fantastic.
I love it.
I've never seen anyone agree to a plan so quickly. Wow. I wonder what made it so convincing to you.
I had all this emotional drama to play. Let's be lovers looking for a room. Yep.
Okay.
You're like, I don't think I should. Okay.
Yep, I got it.
Throws plan
Do you
out
want
the
to do
window.
karate in the garage? Yep.
Yep. You two just became best friends. Okay. And Otto.
You had me at closet.
Possibly more. All right. Yeah.
You cut through the crowd, and very nimbly, you just your hand kind of like raises up and snags a glass of wine from a passing twirling tray that goes by you, and
yes, twirling.
You start. Oh yeah, you have a sip as you push your way through, and you get within like 10, 12 feet, enough to kind of hear this loud conversation.
Right.
And I mean, everybody seems like they're in a very good mood. It's not very pretentious, and it looks like it would be, but everybody looks like they're genuinely having fun. And you hear them talking about Gerald in particular is very. You can't quite hear all the words. Sounds like he's talking about some sort of thing that they're building in the city. You hear some like kind of words about construction and things, and he's really excited and he's talking about it to this older gentleman who's very kind of dignified and he's got a bit of a smile on his face, though. He seems to be picking up on the enthusiasm of Gerald. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I think I just sort of like move a bit closer, maybe I along the way, so that he's not like the very first person that I interact with at all. I kind of like, oh, good evening, cheers, don't you look lovely, and just sort of like engage in some small talk, so that it appears he's more like along my path of like, oh, and good evening to you, and I just sort of slowly build my way up to him.
Okay, I'll just say it only takes you, a couple minutes as you have a word here or there, and very carefully, through much practice, you make your way to the inner circle here, and within moments you are standing next to Gerald and this older man.
Yeah, and I just sort of raise my glass as I have to others, and I say, good evening, gentlemen. What a splendid evening.
And a splendid evening to you. Hello. I don't think I know you. What is your name?
Yes, I don't think I've had the pleasure either. My name is Otto Otmar. That's right. He drops his real name. He doesn't give a shit.
He's not wasting this moment.
He doesn't even bother.
Love it. I approve. I approve.
Says, my name is Otto Otmar. I'm here doing a bit of merchant baron business, I suppose you'd call it. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Well, absolutely delighted to make yours. And cheers to you.
Yes, yes.
I'm Gerald. You probably knew that. And this is a really good friend of mine. This is Alphys. And he's like, oh, how do you do? It's very, very nice to meet you.
Yes, and I'm like, so I've been sort of partially clued in, but not completely. I hear that industry is just, well, quite alive and booming here as of late.
It's Asley. I mean, it always is. But yes, I am afraid you've made your way inside the circle now. I get to bore you with my talk of our building.
Oh, no. As I say, in matters of mercantile and prices rising and falling, well, that just tickles my fancy.
Well, look at you. You've certainly come to the right place then. Let's get some more drinks over here. And,
yes.
And you see, he raises his hand and more spinning, dancing waiters come through and ply wine to you all.
Yeah, so my goal is I kind of try to see if I can start to butter him up and shed any more light about the construction project I overheard him mentioning, just to see what that's all about.
Mm-hmm. And it's quite amazing. We've worked with all of the original dwarven families, of course, to come together and construct. Well, I mean, you could call it conservatory, you could call it many things, but it's going to be. I think it's going to be my masterpiece. I've spent nearly an entire year designing it, so and picking out all this stone, which we're sourcing from, of course, the nearby quarry where all this other stone came from, and.
Gosh, given the scope of it, you must need a tenfold legion to construct this thing.
Well, when you've got the right dwarves about, and the master crafters that they are, they'll handle all of it. And of course, they pretty much insist, don't they? We don't really have a choice in the matter, but that's fine. That's fine because they are amazing, and I'm so flattered.
One should never boo-hoo dwarven architecture, right?
And as you guys are talking, I just pass by with my drink, kind of like not turning my head, just kind of like as I'm passing, I'm like listening in and walking around.
And as she passes by, I just say, "This truly is a lovely party."
Oh, and I just go, cheers. Yes, indeed.
Thank you. Just a little, whatever. And he cheers you again.
No need to be modest, Gerald. And I just am sort of like, every once in a while when he's looking at someone else, my eyes like kind of look down at the bracelet. I'm like starting to like try to peek and be like, how hard does that thing look like it's strapped on?
on, like,
And you can see, I mean,
stealing glances at it.
Yeah, you can see. I mean, you don't have to roll anything because it's like literally he keeps kind of waving in front of your face, kind of not on purpose, but he gesticulates a lot when he talks, and it goes flying about us. It's a very loose bracelet, and it's probably platinum that you think, judging by the metal. Although it does catch that light in a weird way every once in a while, and you think, is it that metal that you saw on the bridge and you've seen throughout places here in Asley? That new metal that you were admiring before. It's got a few other charms on it, so the wings kind of get lost depending on how he moves his wrist. But you do see, actually, roll an investigation check. Let's see if you can figure out how you could take it off.
Let's see how I do. 7 plus 4, 11.
Yeah, I mean, you see the clasp. You think
it's it's a clasp.
It's like a clasp. It looks like it might have some kind of like a spring type mechanism to it.
Can I ask one thing? I don't know if I would have noticed it when you said it fit loose. Was I able to tell if it looked like it fit loose enough that it could reasonably moved off without the clasp?
Not with that roll. But you wonder, maybe.
Yeah. So basically, yeah. Otto, he starts to have an idea come into mind, and that idea definitely includes making sure this guy is sauced up. So he is going to.
Dagmar is thinking about oil.
Oh, drop a little oil, slip a little boop boop. Next
So I'm just saying.
See, oil's good for lots of things.
Yeah, I'm like, this guy's gonna want OD on oil. But I say, I keep engaging him about his business affairs. I tell jokes, and I just am trying to stick with him and be charming and entertaining enough to keep him drinking.
Yeah, and and after a couple minutes, he kind of puts an arm around you, and you guys just move a little bit away from the other people, and kind of giving the idea like to the rest, and you see them start to kind of disperse a little bit. Like you want a little more privacy because you guys are really getting into your talking and having
I
a good time.
might even try to convince him that, like, since I said I was a merchant baron, we should work together. I want to help you out in whichever way I can. Let's get this thing built by tomorrow.
I love it. Oh my God, yes.
Yeah. So he's doing all that kind of shit.
Okay, good. Okay, great. All right, we'll come back to you. Tabitha, we haven't been to you for a moment. Tell me what you're doing.
Okay, so since Dagmara pointed out to me where Saran Wrap is, I'm going to just glide on over to her. And I imagine I come upon her. And I'm gonna do a very involved bow. There's twirling, there's bowing over, there's like a curtsy that I threw in at the end. And then I raise up and I say, it is such a pleasure to meet you. I've been such a fan for so long.
Well, that was quite the display there. It's, who are you?
Oh, my name is Lady Palm, and I'm actually visiting from a faraway land, trying to gather information about how everything is done in a necroly. It is such a beautiful culture I'm learning.
Interesting. Well, as you, I'm sure, know, there aren't a lot of faraway lands anymore after the departing. So, is this a new travel that you've done? Or have you been here for a while?
Oh, I've been here for very long.
Oh, I see. So just new to Asley then?
Yes, Asley, it's my, I've been trying to make a tour around this whole continent, but it's so large. It's taken me for so long. So I'm finally in Asley, and I've heard so much about you. So it's really nice to finally make your acquaintance.
Well, that's very nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, I have.
What are you drinking tonight?
A bit of this. I don't really go in for wine, so she pulls out this beautiful, thin, long flask, very delicate, and just takes a sip and puts it up.
Oh, this one likes the hard stuff. Okay, okay. Hey, do you know anywhere I can get like a little bit of,
Oh shit!
Throwing back to my time in Jordan, anyone?
Oh yeah, I get you.
I'm
One of those Hollywood Hills parties. Huh?
I'm sure there's probably somebody about who could get it for you. I hope you find it. Have a good evening.
Thank you, no problem.
And she turns and she starts kind of perusing the food again.
As she is making her way to the food, Rigel comes strolling over, and he says, "Saran,
Regent. Evening
it
to
is
you.
good to see you.
As always with you, my friend. How are you?
I am doing quite well, quite splendid on this beautiful evening. Who is your friend?"
Oh, we just got acquainted. Lady Palm?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
you
was it?
remembered. You're so sweet.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
What is your name?
I am. Oh, what?
who are you talking to?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I'm talking to you, sir.
This. Let me introduce you. This is our regent. This is Rigel Neverbottom, and he is in charge of the security of Asley. I mean, among other things, of course.
Oh, it is so nice to meet you as well. I have to say, your outfit is absolutely outstanding.
Oh, your gratitude is most appreciated. And what is it that you do
Oh,
here in Asley?
Well, I'm actually a researcher from a faraway land. I've been here for many years, but I'm just trying to gather information about this culture. I'm basically like an anthropologist.
Yes, apparently from before the departing.
Yes, I've been here for so long.
Must be hard to be so far away from home and never be able to get back. Well, as far as we know, anyway.
Well, then you have met the right person. Saran holds many valuable pieces of information.
Oh.
You flatter me.
Well, I would love to hear some about this, all of these valuable information pieces you have, Saran.
In fact, I would say someone of your station could learn a lot from Saran.
Oh,
She has done incredibly well for herself.
I mean, that is apparent, and I just point her up and down, and I'm sure she's just dripping with luxury.
Actually, she's extremely refined. So you see, she has like a dark platinum colored silk dress on, and she doesn't have a lot of jewelry, but it's very elegant. And she's very pretty, but she's very kind of like sharp, hawkish features, but gorgeous still. But just like, sharp chin, sharp cheekbones.
Can I ask you, do I notice her dagger with the jewel on the top? In my scanning of her?
Roll a perception check for me.
You're gonna have to steal the dress off of her.
The tear off.
I just rolled a crit.
Yes.
Okay, so let me tell you what I can combine that with. What was it?
Perception.
Perception. Okay, +5, so 25.
That's great. So
That's great.
So actually backing up a moment, when you saw her put her flask back in, and she has like, it looks like, and again, this flask is very thin, it doesn't hold that much. But as she put it back in, you see right next to it, there's another pouch that is sewn into this this silk fabric, and it goes right into one of the folds that comes off the shoulder. So you would completely miss it if you didn't know it was there. You see just the flash of this silver pommel and this beautiful sapphire on top of it. And it's small. It's small. It's like a stiletto dagger. And before she closes it up again.
Yes.
Okay. Got it. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. We'll see if it works.
Okay.
I am going to I have my glass of wine, and I kind of go for another bow.
Oh boy!
And intentionally trip, spill some wine on. And then I'm trying to clean it up with little pieces of thing and try to see if I can just kind of fast hand, sleight of hands get into that jacket.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Just right out of the
As I
gate.
see that, I see Tabby doing this, I kind of bump into Saran. I'm like, oh, I'm very sorry. Oh, Saran, it's so good to see you. And I'm hoping to get her attention so she's not focusing on what you're doing. How was the financial business? I hear it's
she's like,
doing very well these days.
I've been fainting. I'm sorry.
Oh, don't worry. I have a cleaner.
roll your sleight of hand.
Tell me.
Oh shit!
As you go in, you're just blotting her right away, and
Would it be an advantage because she has some help from Dagmara?
I was considering it. Let's see what you got.
Do the
Let's see
right
what you got.
thing. Do the
I
right
did
thing.
not roll well.
All right, we'll give it to you. Roll advantage because you did get some help here.
Okay. Hang on. I don't know what happened to my D&D.
Feeling generous today.
Come on.
Come on, Foxy.
16.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Oh, you add to that? That's good.
Okay.
Come on, that's getting
You roll-
into the 20s.
Yeah, this is your specialty.
And yep, this is what I'm good at. I'm sorry, I don't know. I think I clicked off of this page.
I can check.
I think you're about +8 on the sleight of hands, if I'm not
That
mistaken.
sounds a little high. I don't know if I have a +8.
I got it.
any-
Hold on.
Oh, wait, I got it. Hang on.
All right.
It's right here. Sleight of hand
you're-
+6.
+6.
6.
All right.
Okay. Good job.
22.
I bet your stealth is +8, but yeah, nice.
It's +9.
22.
Okay, so
All right.
There you go.
Pretty good.
Oh,
So
nice.
you immediately, right when she gets bumped and your hands go there and you start dabbing and your left hand just kind of goes right inside the fabric and you feel first the flask and your hand goes right over it and you feel that pommel and just kind of wrap your hand around and you continue to slide it out and you see that as Dagmara's talking to her and Rigel's looking at her and she's just flustered and upset. She's got all this wine all over her. She doesn't seem to notice.
yes.
Can I say that because I rolled so well that I replace it with one of the little daggers that I got gifted to me when I stole them off the body of the other guy?
I'm gonna say yeah because you had that
So
thought.
that if she feels her jacket, it feels like there's something there.
You had that thought before you went down, and did the thing with the wine. You pulled one of the other, the skinniest one that you had, and just did kind of a quick swap.
I feel like in the movie version of this, it would be like that lady touches her shoulder and feels that it's there, and it's
It's
like,
oh,
and then it cuts to
Yeah.
Tabby being like,
and actually
Yes,
you do.
and right at that moment, I'm like, I have to tell you about the gold deposits, but later. I know you're talking. Have a good night. What a party! I love it.
So Rigel,
Love it. I love it.
Rigel goes to pick up Lady Maul, and as all of this commotion, he grabs her after she is done with what she's done, and I'd like to roll a sleight of hand to see if I can get the jewel from Tabitha at that moment.
Sure.
Okay.
Is that-
Tabitha, do you want to? You probably understand what he's doing. Do you want to hold on to it, or do you want to help him? Are you going to feel him kind of go in?
I think I trust him.
That's your call.
So I think he can have it. Sure. I just think it would be really hard to untwist it from the top if it was like a twisting maneuver.
Are you just
super
trying to take the
quickly.
top off, Rigel, or are you going to try and take the whole thing?
Trying to take the jewel.
Well,
from the dagger?
I'm trying to make sure that we secure that piece of the key.
Yeah.
Right, and she might check me, or I might seem suspicious.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, no problem. You can have it.
So
Yeah, roll sleight of hand because you see
right.
as
If you trick me later, then you'll be sorry.
as Dagmara starts to move away from her, and that last statement, and she's looking at her like, I don't know who that woman is. You just see there's a bit of
exactly.
there's a bit of suspicion on her face, and and she doesn't. She kind of does pat. She even opens up, starting to look inside when Rigel, you reach down and you grab Tabitha and you're pulling her up, and
Right.
And her hand kind of falters. Rigel, do you know these people?
Well, no, but they seem to be quite enamored with you.
So Rigel rolled a 16.
16 total? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Do that against her perception. You see that a kind of coldness comes over her. Perhaps there are things happening tonight that I am not privy to. Of course, that would be my station. If you need my help, though, I would hope that you would let me know what's going on.
Well, there's a party going on right here. A celebration to last throughout the year.
So
that's when Celebrate Good Times comes on.
Yes, yes, and everybody starts like line dancing.
We got that part.
It's like that scene from A Knight's Tale where they randomly go from like period appropriate dancing to like
yes,
a full on
We Will Rock You and
all that.
Yeah, they took some creative liberties there.
Yeah.
Or like it's like when the Macarena gets playing and then everybody's suddenly doing it just because that's the one dance that they all really know.
Yes.
They just can't help it.
Yep.
So he goes to grab the dagger. Is he successful?
Yeah, no, you were definitely successful. You got it.
Okay.
When you did that and you kind of came back up, you just saw that the whole aspect to Saran has changed a little bit, and she just said that line, and she's not quite sure what's going on, but
I have left, by the way. I imagine that I'm stepping out as they're like talking, as I notice I'm being suspected of something, to like clean up myself. It's like, oh, I gotta go clean up. I made such a mess. I'm sorry. I'm like bumbling out like that.
And Rigel also goes to make his leave. He looks at everyone and he says,
"I'll leave you to it."
Wait, Rigel. Rigel. It's just the two of you.
Yes.
Do you have an operation going on this evening? This feels contrived.
Well, are you saying that I would try an operation with you?
I would hope not. I would think my character is above reproach, but it is your duty, I suppose.
There are foul things afoot, but rest assured, I have men for that. You don't get to where I am by getting your hands dirty.
I'd like to roll persuasion on that.
Yeah. Tell me what you get.
Slowly. 17.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Pretty good.
And you see as you say that, and she's kind of nodding. Yes, of course, Rigel. You know I trust you. It's.
Thank you.
I don't feel, and she moves a little bit closer. These visitors of ours staying in the palace.
Yes.
Yes. So I hear.
Say no more.
Yes. I'm glad to know you're on it.
Yes.
I'm going to go change and get into something that's not dripping with wine. I hope you enjoy the rest of the evening.
Now, as I hope you do as well. Quite a shame. That dress was quite fetching.
Thank you, Raichu. And she moves off. And you see she makes her way to the stairs and heads upstairs.
a great party we're having.
He says to no one. And he kind of like walks, he just walks away.
All right.
I love that.
We're at 11, but I think we're going to go a little bit over. Seville, Edoset, tell me, you two, you've made your way out of the ballroom as I think you were headed, and you found that one hallway that Rigel had told you about. Tell me what you're doing.
I'm giggling alive here.
Yes. I guess we're very.
Oh, you're so bad. Oh, you're so bad.
So I'm tickling Wild Sauce and just kind of we're hugging, maybe nuzzling and kissing on the cheek and just kind of stumbling like we're a little bit inebriated.
And you're passing quite a few soldiers and some of the more kind of formally dressed soldiers as well, as they seem to kind of be streaming from down this hallway, and they kind of just look over, but it's another gala. They're used to it.
Okay.
Excellent. So we keep going up the stairs further.
Okay.
And Seville, you're probably best at this. See what you can do to find it. And if we run into anybody, let me do the talking.
All right, what'll do? So let's just, and I'll say this into her mind as I'm smiling and I'm just pulling her along as she's kind of resisting a little. And so let's just pop into the room. If anybody says anything or yells into us, we're just looking for a random room to go into. So that's our play, and then we'll seduce them in or do something after that. So, all right, so we'll pick the room and just kind of, coyly look to see that we're not caught, and then I'll, we'll kind of duck in. What?
Here, come here. Aren't we supposed to be looking for that guy who's the guard of the crown guard? And the guy. That's what I need to find is the guy.
No, but
it's just a random room. I need the guy, the guard.
Yeah, and Rigel told you where to go.
Okay, yeah. So not any room, that room.
Yes, of course it is. But if someone asks us, then we're looking. It's a random room to everyone else.
Yes. Just let me do this.
Stop being difficult, Wild Sauce.
And I slap him a little too hard, like a little.
I can't help but chuckle when I look over and see these two nutcases.
So, you haven't even said anything. How's my female form?
Oh, she's really quite something, honestly. I mean, we can talk about that later.
Yes.
Yeah.
I use it when I go out gambling. I've got to take you. Okay,
yes,
let's go.
Take me.
We need to find the desk. We need the golden quill and to detach it from the feather.
Yes.
So we're gonna go in.
Okay.
Looking around, just kind of thing like that.
All right, so yeah, it takes you a couple minutes, and you pass a few more guards, but it starts to get a little quiet. You can, you can barely hear the music now. I'm actually going to turn that down as it's playing in the far distant background, and you see the office ahead. And there is an emblem of the Valieri, which is the same on the coin, that you recognize right away, and you know that this is the captain of the guard's office. And there is a door open. You can't see from this distance as you're approaching, but you see some kind of flickering firelight coming from inside.
All right.
Anybody's in here. Let's try this one. Stop! Wait, just wait. And then.
I'm gonna kind of
stumbling in, but very obviously, not like drunk people who think they're quiet.
Right, and kind of tumble through the door.
And I found a room that's occupied for us to play in.
And this first room that you come into is kind of like a kind of secretary's kind of like antechamber room. It's a smaller room, and there's a desk and there's like a nice chair, but there's not a lot of stuff on the desk, and there's nobody there. It looks like it might be a guard, might be some kind of admin person who normally sits there. And there's a second door that is open, and you see inside that there is a very he's probably like mid-50s, but still looks very young and is very fit, and he's in his formal, Crown's Guards attire, so not armor, but like kind of dress military. And he's writing something. He looks up. Yes, can I help you?
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. We just want, can we have a moment of privacy, please?
I'm sure you can in the hallway. Thank you.
No, we might be seen. Can't you please just, and I take one of my coins out and I flick one to him and I say, please just give us a few minutes. That's all we need. Right?
Yes, wherever would you find an empty room in such a small housing place like this palace?
Here, take two. Take two, please.
I'm gonna have to ask you both to leave now.
Can't I roll a persuasion on this fucker?
Sure,
on,
at
man.
disadvantage because you're
money.
flicking
He's some
coins.
He's some duty-bound loser. Damn
Just
it.
kill him.
Just kill him.
Jeez.
Well, all right. My first was an 18, but since it's a disadvantage,
Yeah,
it's only a 10.
yeah. It's just looking at you like, what are you doing? Yes.
I
Please.
just 1 minute, and I start to pretend I'm kissing Sybil, but I say, "Is this the guy we want? Is this the guy? Is this the guy?"
Yes.
It is.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's him. It's him.
Okay, just stab him.
Do you know a man named Ivo? He was captain of the Crown's Guard in Navier. A lover of mine, and he's passed. Can I?
And I nudge him, and I'm like, let's not get morbid. Please, I just wasn't trying to.
Listen, and he stands up, and he's pretty towering. He's like 6'2", and again pretty fit, and he's got his saber at his side. Even if I did know that name, I'm gonna have to ask you both to leave. The party's down the hall too, right? Please make your way back there.
So as they're making their way out, Rigel comes around the corner
No,
Save
I'm
the
not.
day.
and
Making his rounds. I love it.
yes,
They were like,
and-
I wasn't making my way out. I was about to stab him.
That's right.
Okay, all right. Well, as you're standing there,
good thing you
Yes.
came now.
right.
yeah.
So Rigel looks and he says,
Eveline,
Yes, Regent.
Captain.
and he pulls him off to the side and he says,
What are the whereabouts of the steward? When is he set to arrive?
Should be pretty soon, I think. Well, definitely within the next hour. It's up to him when he arrives, but I expect him in. He looks at a watch that doesn't exist yet. In no longer than an hour.
I want you to personally find one of your guards that are protecting the area to let me know the moment he comes in range so that we can make sure that his entrance is announced to the gala appropriately.
Yes, sir. And he looks at the empty desk in his front office, and he takes a step out into the hallway, and he looks, and there are no soldiers. And yes, you two. I need you to leave the office now.
But I'm
Regent.
so
Fine,
But Judge,
fine.
when he took a step out into the hallway, I cast my Misty Step, and I went into that second office, and I looked stealthily for what I'm looking for.
Okay. All right. That's interesting, Erised.
There's
Okay.
a storm brewing, I hear. I hear it's going to be rather rainy soon.
I'm
Rigel.
kidding. I'm not even there.
In Rigel's mind, I say, permission to knock him out if it's so sad.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me see the timing.
Oh,
Okay.
wait, can't we all communicate in each other's heads?
I thought that was only from him to...
Yeah, it's only
telepathically.
he's kind of like in a 30-foot radius.
Yeah, but he's got to be
within
close to you.
Yeah.
But also, it doesn't link us so that we can just hear, like a radar, what's going on.
No.
Right. You have to, like, communicate with somebody, right?
Unfortunately, is it 30-foot range only?
Yeah, it is a 30-foot range.
Well, we're linked, so if he comes into our vicinity, we can
Yeah,
suddenly
then
hear
it's
him.
Correct.
it's automatic.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, okay.
All right. So he starts to leave, and Regent, perhaps you could have these two removed. And as he's saying that, he watches as you just see this silver mist where Erised was standing, and he can still see, standing in the door, he can see both offices, and he sees her reappear behind the desk.
That little minx, let me get her. I'm so sorry. We just wanted to find a place to play. She does
Roll
this all the
deception
time.
check.
I will grab her right now. I'm so sorry. That is 15 plus. Where is my deception?
And as he's doing that, Erised, what are you doing as you've just bamped
16.
into 16 total?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm looking as quickly as I can to find that quill.
Yeah,
I'm
so
finding
I'll
it.
run in and a shield. I'll cut the vision. He'll have to see through me. So I go and get Erised, but as I'm getting her, I'm kind of shielding and just seeing if there's anything on the thing, and I just kind of push into her as I'm trying to pull her out, but maybe I'm kind of like pushing her into the desk.
Yeah.
And going, come here, you're gonna get us in trouble. Come here right now.
Yeah, you
Always
both.
like this when you drink. You're always like this when we drink.
Just kiss me. Just kiss me.
Fine,
both-
if you
both
come.
sorry, go
You're
ahead.
one of those kind of chicks.
Apparently tonight. But do I find my quill? That's all I care
Yes, you
about
both
right now.
see. You both see. There's a beautiful quill. It's on a holder, on this silver kind of holder, and it's horizontal. And you see the first half of it is gold, and it goes down to the nib, and then the second half is this soft kind of like cream-colored plume that comes off the back of it.
Grab it. I grab it and I put it down my corset.
Captain,
I'm sorry.
handle what I've asked. I will take care of these two partygoers who seem to be enjoying this party a little too much.
Oh, yes, for being naughty.
We're going.
Every fucking gala. All right, I'm off. I'll find somebody to find you when Stuart
Maybe
arrives.
he'll be more fun than you.
Thank you. I'll give you more coins later. Thank you.
Remove them now, though, please. And as he calls, as he heads down the hallway.
Kisses.
And I quickly take out the quill and I unscrew the shaft of it and I find what I have come to look for. It is the golden part. What is
Yes.
this? Shaft.
The
Okay.
shaft and then
Yeah.
Okay,
golden member?
And then do I take that out and then screw the thing back together, or just take the shaft? Like, am I dismantling this thing?
Maybe not right here and now.
I mean, it's up to you. Yeah, that is the piece that you were after, as
Okay,
Rigel
the shaft.
told you
I
before.
take the shaft. I leave the feather back in, so hopefully nobody notices much as a miss.
what is there anything in the shaft?
No,
there
it
any-
looks like.
Okay. So
And
we
actually,
can't
it
take
looks
something
like
out and screw it back in.
it looks like the nib also unscrews.
I do an investigation check on this
Yeah.
since I've got a bit of time,
Okay, sure.
right? Oh yes,
okay.
that would be and 17.
Yeah, so you take a look at it, and yeah, you see that the nib unscrews, and you basically have this kind of golden shaft, this like 3-inch long shaft, and it has very delicate threading on both ends.
Okay, so I take it and I just take a pin out of my hair and I try to shove it kind of into the feather so the feather is able to go back into its stand and look as if the shaft is still applied. So hopefully we buy ourselves some time.
It lays horizontally, so you could just kind of lay the feather down.
Oh, well, then that.
I like the creative thinking.
Yeah. I mean, you can still do that, but you're going to put it down horizontally.
No, my hair was good. My hair was good.
All right, you put it back in here.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I just pretend that never happened.
Okay. All right. Well, as you all have recovered that piece, Otto, we're gonna Otto will come back to you, and then I'm sorry, Dagmar, we'll come to you.
No worries.
Smooth as silk, Eriseth. Smooth as silk.
Can give a shit about it later, but I've got my shaft.
I was waiting for this.
Between her and a shaft.
On the arm, let's go.
Tonight is not gonna work.
Dagmara, can I borrow your fan, please, for a moment? I just need to titter behind it. And
She just throws it. The fan comes around the corner, flies to you.
like delivered by Al.
All right, Otto, what are you up to now? You're off in the corner having.
We've had several.
Are you guys by the fire?
There are fireplaces. You're probably within 6 feet of a fireplace.
We're not gonna be by the fireplace, I don't think. We're gonna be maybe by. I'll try to steer him toward, maybe to go look at a tapestry or a piece of art. I'll try to get him where it's just us for a minute.
Okay.
But I'll basically my goal is to once I want to make sure that he seems pretty inebriated.
Yeah.
So my goal is going to be to I'm in a bit of a pickle here. I'm the pickled bard after all. I have to keep up with him and I have to outdrink him so that I'm not so fucked up when it comes time for me to do my big move. So I'm trying to stay as sober as I can while getting this dude hammered.
Okay.
I can help with that.
And you can help with that, you say. So once I feel that he is, there's something I want to do.
Yeah, no, and you guys, he's steered you over to one of the really large, which you thought from a distance was glass, and you get closer, you see, and he starts telling you about this special crystal that they have in Anacroli, which is extremely strong, and they use it for, it's almost kind of like a security glass, and it looks, it's completely transparent, but you see that it's got a depth of it like 1.5 inches, and he's telling you all about this crystal, and he's looking at
fascinating.
You're looking out, you see out of the front the large dragon, the massive dragon sculpture, that the water's coming out and filling this long reflecting pool that goes down away from the palace. And so now he puts a hand on your shoulder a couple times to stabilize himself, and your eyes look right there. Bracelets within inches.
Which hand is his bracelet on?
It's on his right hand.
Okay, so I think once he seems sufficiently inebriated, I will try to. I know that we have our roamer who's kind of going around checking on everybody in Dagmara. So maybe I'll try to lock eyes with her and just shoot her a little look before I do this. But once I shoot her the look and I get us off on our own, I do one of these things where I tell a joke and at the end we're laughing and I'm like, oh, forgive me, Giala. I've taken up so much of your time and I've blathered on and I've had so much delicious wine, but I should be letting you get about and I can't steal you away from myself. And I kind of extend a handshake.
Oh boy.
Oh, have I bored you to such an extent that you're gonna leave me now?
And I kind of push my hand into his, and I
like
do
a Donald Trump handshake.
Yes, that's exactly what I was gonna do. I was gonna do a pastor handshake where the whole hand is like just
the double, yeah, okay.
The double, and I shake it a bunch, and I'm laughing, and I'm like, no, you have, I've had such a splendid evening, but I feel that the time has slipped away from me, and who knows what I'll be saying if I have another glass of wine in your company.
No, listen, you must absolutely come back and meet my husband. He would absolutely, he'd adore you. You must tell us where you're staying. And as you're having this tell me what you're doing.
Yeah, the big moment. I'm trying to, as I'm doing the double handshake, just slip the clasp loose, and then my goal is, as I pull away, I'm hoping that I have it and can sort of tuck it in my coat and pat him on the shoulder, and I'm outie.
All right.
Do I see all of this?
I tried to kind of give you the look that I was going to do something before I did it.
Okay, so I do see this. Okay, and depending on what happens right now, Jed, I have something to intervene with.
Okay. All right. So, Otto, why don't you go ahead and...
Actually, can I intervene earlier? That might give him an advantage.
Yeah, you tell me what you're doing.
Okay, so what I want to do is I just I go to the fireplace and I take the fire poker and I heat it up long enough for it to get white and almost catch fire. And I just wave it and I say, everybody look this way for the party trick of the night. And I drink some of the oil and just go like, ah!
I love it.
Distract this guy.
All right. You roll a performance check for me, Dagmara.
I want party with
Because I want to see.
man.
This is taking one for the team.
I want to see.
Amateur fire breathing?
Yes.
God, you are...
If I'm ever invited to a yacht, you're coming with me.
You should deserve the Medal of Honor for this mission.
That's amazing.
If you pull this off.
Don't roll a 1.
Performance.
Oh my God. What am I going to roll up? What?
We need a big roll.
You need a big roll.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right.
Don't swallow that.
Okay, well, I have rolled a total of 10.
Okay.
All right. So
Breathing, it doesn't take a lot.
you pull the red hot poker out and you make that announcement and you go, and you all look over and you see the oil hits the poker and just ignites and it's beautiful. And you're like, it worked. And then it just all the lit oil just falls onto the carpet right in front of you. And it's just and starts just and people are like,
Starting with fire?
And
I'm just
people start backing up really quickly and Otto, you at that moment you're starting to pull the bracelet and Gerald's like, oh my God, and he looks back and people are rushing in and throwing wine and other things on this fire that's starting to
Does this...
I know what this
rug
this fire.
Does
Alcohol.
yeah, it's and every it's and it's starting to spread.
Does this earn me an advantage?
Yes, it does.
All right.
My gosh, in that case, you
Okay, good. Because
essential oil
one of
rubbing
them
his
was a
hand,
1.
but no.
Oh wow.
One of them was a 13 plus 4, so 17.
Oh,
Yeah, and I'm gonna say, and just for fun, I feel like that one hit, when you start to pull and it gets jammed on his thumb, and he starts to look down, and then people are throwing their wine and other drinks on it, and it's just and it just starts going higher, and people are like, oh shit, and servants start to come over and start.
And you know what it does? When it gets stuck on his thumb, I'm trying to find a quick way to justify it, and even though all this chaos is going on, I just quickly reach down and I kiss his hand because that's all I could think of, and I'm like,
and it's
as I get it, and I'm
it slips off.
Have a wonderful evening.
Yeah, it slips off, and you kiss his hand. And he's like, "Oh, well, I guess I should attend to this, but please do come back. You've got to be my husband. We'd love to spend some time with you."
I'm going to hold you to it,
Indeed, you better.
And I just make sure I say in earshot as I tuck it away for where hopefully my comrades can hear me, even with the carpet burning. This really is a lovely party.
All right. Well,
Lovely indeed.
as Gerald runs off and directing people to grab tapestries and start putting out this, smothering this fire, you all have the pieces that you sought. And tell me how you're
I'm
coming.
also fanning the fire, like, yeah, anyway.
Tell me how you're coming together here before we
I'm
wrap
gonna
it.
make my way back to the office, right? I mean, we've got the stuff. That was our plan, was to meet back at the office.
I'm to rendezvous.
Time to rendezvous.
So
Right, and I'm using that moment to be like, oh no, this is horrible, and I just like run back and like try to
I'm
disappear.
like,
in the crowd
I'm
and
scared of the
hopefully
fire.
unnoticed.
I don't know. I just get out.
And I've already scurried off because, of course, everyone's suspecting me. Anyone that lady's talked to.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so you all, within minutes of each other, all arrive back at Rigel's office. And you see the elation and the look of accomplishment on each face as you come into the room. And Rigel, you quickly shut the door behind them. What would you like to do?
Mission
yeah.
success.
So Rigel walks you guys back to the back of the room, and he gesticulates wildly. The secret door opens. He brings you all into the room. He clicks his heel on the ground, and the door closes.
Behind us?
Yes.
This always happens. I'm gonna put a hand to the hilt of my sword very
I
uneasily.
still have oil. I just need fire.
Oh, I've got fire.
Crazy. Don't mess with us. Yeah, like we're in a small room.
Then
We could do anything.
he looks at you all and he says,
Is it secret? Is it safe?
And with no sense of irony, because I have no idea what that could be referenced
Right.
to in the world. But naturally, I say, it is secret. It is safe.
It's safe.
and he holds out the one piece that he has,
Which I got for you, remember?
of course. And then he looks for the other two pieces.
Take mine out from my corset and I give it to him and I say, we could have done it without you, but I do appreciate your showing up.
Oh, that is why I'm here.
Shouldn't we make way to the vault?
Well, give me the other piece of the damn key.
Come on, Otto.
Hand over that charm bracelet,
All
Bubba.
right, fine. Here, I hand it to him.
There's
And
that moment when Bilbo barely parts with the ring.
He's like, I can give it to you. I'm not attached to it. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll just
Still
give
in your
it to you
pocket,
then.
Bilbo.
Oh yes.
So it is. Okay, sorry.
so then Rigel takes all of the keys together and he puts them in his hands, and then you hear
Transformer key.
right,
that's cool.
and then he holds together these three disparate pieces in what now looks like a key. And
Now, it's time to go to the vault.
and he goes to the back of the secret room and he gesticulates wildly, and a new secret entrance opens in the back of the secret entrance room.
Russian
Yeah, you see,
secret
like,
doors.
Roomception.
Yeah, you see like little bits of the stone as he moves his hands through the air. There's like a rippling effect in the stone in front of him, and the stone's, it's almost like it's revolving, and it starts to kind of peel away, and the stone just slowly creates this archway ahead of you, and you see these steps leading down and curving this like rough-hewn stone steps, and as soon as the door opens fully, you see these little lights flare in, these torches on the wall heading down into darkness as that cool dungeon air kind of wafts up at you. We're gonna leave it there tonight, everyone.
Right on.
Wow. All right. Well, went a little bit late, but thank you all for sticking with us. That was super fun. Yes. So, Cicero, if you're able to come back, because obviously we didn't complete this mission tonight.
I told you we wouldn't.
No, yeah. This is our pace. We're the role players. This is role play. It takes time.
At a medium
We
pace.
role play slowly.
Yeah.
Very slowly.
That's right.
It's good though, because I was like, no, is this when I say goodbye to him?
No, it's not. We get them. Well, if you are
One
available
more
next,
week.
if you're available.
Of course, just call my name.
Now be
The
there.
Cicero signal.
I think, don't we have
Right,
a big
exactly.
giveaway to do right now?
Oh, we sure do.
Oh, giveaway.
We sure do. I was just pulling up to see if I had heard from our producer, Ashley. If you are just joining us now, make sure that you have entered the code word dungeon in the chat to be entered to win an amazing gift from Skull Splitter Dice.
Splitters.
Thank you. A necromantic skull, which the party was supposed to recover tonight, which would have made this even cooler. However, you can have it. You can win it ahead of the party. So,
Yeah, you can literally be better than us, which is not saying a lot, but it's still fun.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for instructions here. In the meantime, a final thank you to Skull Splitter for the giveaway and for sponsoring the show, and to Thrill Studios. Please check them both out. Order from them. It contributes to the show, and as you see, we're trying to improve the technology with webcams and whatnot. Now we're fighting Zoom here, y'all, so we're doing the best we can.
And a huge thank you to Cicero for guesting with us.
Yeah, Cicero. It's a blast to have you, dude.
Without you, you're so key to this.
I apologize to your vocal cords tomorrow.
Yeah, no problem. They were better last week.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I
Just
love
keep
it.
hydrating. It's worth it.
Right, exactly. It's all for you guys. The community inspires me. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, we appreciate it. Ashley's given me the hang on notice, so stand by. I think she's going to solidify that.
So I'll take the time to vamp and say, hey, if you guys are enjoying me, check me out on Twitter. I am at StubbyStan, and all social media platforms, I am at StubbyStan. If you like what I've done here at the Role Players, you can check out some of the other stuff that I'm doing, such as the Discovery Debrief podcast, which ventures into the latest versions of Trek. So Star Trek Discovery, Lower Decks, Star Trek Picard, and the upcoming, all of the upcoming shows that are coming on.
Hello, everyone.
On CBS All Access. You can also find me on the Incomparable Podcast Networks. So check out the Incomparable on Twitter. And if you like the voice that I did, or if you like my voice at all, you can hire this voice, because this voice is for hire. So
I'm hiring that voice right now.
check out
Hiring
all my
it.
social media platforms, and
Yes.
I'll be
I listen to audiobooks by Cicero.
Okay,
You
so
need to get it calm.
Yes.
Yes. My friend taught me that you can record all your Waze directions on Waze, W-A-Z-E Waze, the app, you know?
Yes.
You can use your own voice or whatever. It takes hours.
No way.
But I could pay you to do all of my directions.
Cicero, we need
I'm
that.
so good at
that
that.
that needs to happen.
Done.
that.
That needs
Birthday
to
present
happen.
idea for this one.
In Rigel's
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah, we will.
Yes.
in Rigel's
Yes.
voice. Yes.
Yes.
Stand by for DM on that.
And a left before that.
But very like fantasy
And a left
confusing.
before that.
The crossroads.
Yeah, I don't know. Regular
That'd be
voice.
awesome.
Right.
Yeah, you can't get anywhere, but
Drive
it's
for
awesome.
a fortnight.
Every once in a while, you gotta bring out the all, because I love when you bring that East Coast, that all. You say it.
Yeah, you could do it. You could do it as
like me at
Rigel.
all?
You could do it in your, is it Bronx?
My native
Brooklyn?
tongue?
Yeah.
Yes. Born in the South Bronx, raised on Long Island.
That's
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Long
Long
Island.
Island.
So you've got
Seven
range. I
times.
love it. Well,
Such a great goy.
yeah, I love it.
Is it Ron
right.
Konkama?
Well, we have
Konkama,
we
yeah.
have our winner. Everybody
All
who's
right.
hung on. Our winner is Local Boy 79. Congratulations.
Congrats, man.
Congrats.
79.
Wow.
So I'm sure
He's like,
DM
what?
us, Ashley will DM you, and we will get that out to you. To the rest of you, thank you. You know, we do this because you are all amazing and you inspire us, as Cicero said. We love you all. Thank you for all of the follows, the subs, the donations. We really appreciate it. Just thanks for letting us make your Monday a hell of a lot better. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Yes.
Bye, guys.